Hello, everybody. All right. Looking in the chat. Tell me how the audio is. For you guys who weren't here last week, by the way, welcome to Zach Milne Talks Live. If you're first time here, if you're coming back, welcome all the same. Happy to have you. My audio had issues last week, unfortunately. I apologize to everybody who showed up, by the way, for that show. Threw in all your comments and questions, and we just couldn't do it live. It just wasn't working out. For you guys that are in the chat right now, let me know how the audio is. I checked it. I triple checked it. I did a couple tests with this earlier this evening. So, okay, Dace Avenue saying audio sounds good. Okay, I was hearing that. I went back and looked at the chat a little bit after the show last week, and some people were saying it sounded good at the start. So let me know. Can I tell you, just like a side note, this shirt, I love this shirt. Like, this is a Spider-Man shirt, so automatically I love it. I'm annoyed by the way this shirt sits. It always has this like one line. I noticed it a lot in the recent video I posted. I was wearing this shirt, and I don't know why. It distracts me. But mostly I'm telling you this so you guys can test the audio a little bit more. But Ace is saying it sounds good, so I'm just going to assume it sounds good for the majority of everyone out there, because last time, yeah, apologies once again, guys. But that is why we are doing another community night. I wasn't sure if we should just move forward with the show as normal, and I put out a post, I put out a poll, you guys voted. It was actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. So I appreciate everyone who wanted a regular show and wanted to hear some news topics discussed. But in the end, community night won out, and I'm kind of excited because I was really excited to talk live with you guys last week, and the fact that it didn't work out also bummed me out. So I'm very, very happy to see that it's working out so far, and people are here. And yeah, we're just gonna jump into it. This is community night Q&A. We are just going to take your live comments and questions the entire night. It's just you, me, hanging out. Well, us collectively as a community on this channel, hanging out, talking about movies, talking about life, whatever you guys want to talk about, as long as it's appropriate. Appreciate all of you being here, and let's get into the chat. And I guess the first thing I got to start off with here is we got the Ace Avenue. What's going on, Ace, my buddy, my member? How's it going, man? You've been a member for 8 months now. Dude, thank you so much for another month of being a member, for hanging out with me on Saturdays, for talking about the movie news and all that we do on Members Talk Live. It's always a blast. It's always great having you on there, and you've been there for 8 months, and I truly appreciate all the support. Speaking of support, the Ace Avenue sends in a $5 super chat, so thank you as well, my friend, for that. That's very generous. Saying, congrats, Zach, on your bundle of joy. The future of Zach Milne Talks Movies is here. I know you'll be a great dad and introduce some great movies to your child. Oh, yeah, that's priority. Well, that's not priority, but it's definitely something I'm excited for. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you guys didn't see, so I've been holding this in for quite some time now. My wife and I found out that we were pregnant. We're pregnant, by the way, with our first child, is the announcement that I made last week live on the show, and officially kind of made a statement on the main channel with a video talking about 10 movies I'm most excited to show my kid someday, whether they're really young or older, for some of the movies. But yeah, we found out that my wife was pregnant back in June. So it's been a little bit holding on to this. We even like our close friends and family knew, but we just made the public announcement on our social medias the same day the video came out, because I wasn't going to post that video until we made our public announcement for everybody. So it kind of came hand in hand with that. So yeah, holding on to it since June. Feels so great to finally tell you guys and not have to just say, lots going on in my life. There's a lot going on right now, because I've been saying that for months. I'm sure some of you guys are very annoyed with hearing that, and you won't have to hear it anymore. I can finally just say, I'm going to be a father. There's a lot that comes with that. I've been very busy, and I appreciate all the congratulations and all of the support that you guys have been giving in the video comments, and just like people messaging me in life. It's been very, 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 very just amazing, and it feels really nice to have that. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for that. It really does mean a lot. All right, going with the rest of these comments. Let's go back up to the top. Let's check out Dakota Man Movies. What's going on, Dakota? Thanks for joining us, man. He says, hey, Zach, congratulations on the baby. Once again, thank you very much. Sorry I can't make it today. I'm out of town. No worries. Ready for Agatha All Along, episode 3. Yeah, so Agatha came out last week. It aired 2 episodes. I watched both of them. I think episode 3 is out now, so I was gonna watch it before I went live, but I would just, like I said, I was doing some tests. I had to make sure the audio was good, so I didn't get around to doing that before I went live. So backtracking a little bit, we talked a little bit last week for those that stuck around through the audio issues. I wasn't very excited for Agatha all along. I, of course, liked WandaVision quite a bit, and I also enjoyed Agatha Harkness in that show for the role that she had. Catherine Hahn was great. Didn't really need to see a full show of her. Wasn't really desiring to see her own series. But anyways, they went forward with it at Disney+. They shot it. They got it out there. It's on Disney Plus now, airing. Now it's on its 3rd episode. How did I feel about the first 2 episodes? I really enjoyed them. I really enjoyed those first 2 episodes of Agatha. I don't think it's like the greatest MCU show, or even like a great show so far. I think it's good. I think it's enjoyable. One of the things that's sticking out to me about the show that I kind of talked about with our members, Have You Seen That with T and Ace Avenue, as mentioned before, it feels like a show that's being run by a showrunner. It feels like it's made to be a television show. It doesn't feel like an awkwardly chopped up movie as of now. So I think the pacing on the episodes, the first 2 episodes that they premiered with, I thought the pacing was great. I was engaged. I laughed a couple times. The humor worked for me. They got some intrigue going that I'm actually interested to see where it goes and fascinated to see how they're going to play it out in the story. So yeah, I was not anticipating this whatsoever. If this got canceled and I never saw it, I would not have batted an eye. But I enjoyed the first 2 episodes, and I am looking forward to episode 3. I hope the show can keep it up, because we've seen this with Disney Plus shows many times, too many times to count. They have fantastic premieres. Almost all the Star Wars shows and all the Marvel shows have had fantastic premieres, or at least good premieres that I really have liked and have got me intrigued to watch the rest of the show. It's just how the rest of the show plays out where the problems happen. So I'm hoping Agatha doesn't have that problem, because so far I honestly think it's a very solid start. Brandon McDaniel, what's going on, Brandon? Thanks for joining us. I don't know if I've ever seen you in here before, so thank you for joining us, man. Welcome to the show. Saying Ace Avenue raid. Oh, Ace Avenue. Yeah, so these are a couple people from Ace's chat, which, by the way, Ace, I don't know if you shouted me out or whatever. Actually, you know what? I think I saw that you posted a link in your chat. I don't know if that came to me or not, but there's been people that are popping up in the chat that are part of the Ace Avenue raid. I don't know if that's something you instigated. But thank you so much, everybody who was on Ace's live stream and heard my name said by Ace, or however it happened, and decided to come over here and raid on our chat. So I appreciate that. Welcome, everybody. We got David Elias. Welcome, David. Thank you for joining, man. He says, "What's up, Zach? Yar, it's a raid. We're taking over the channel from the Ace Avenue." Yep. Emmanuel Strother. Welcome, Emmanuel. Thanks for joining. He says, "What do you think about the song Not Like Us?" Not Like Us. Trying to think of songs called Not Like Us, because honestly, I'm not a big music guy. Like, music for me is something that's on in the background to pass the time. So there's many songs called Not Like Us, and I don't know if I've heard them, to be honest. I might have heard this song on the radio or something, but honestly, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure what song that is or what you're referring to. But thank you for the question, man. I appreciate that. David Elias again is saying, "Surrender your booty to us." Okay. You might need to send in a super chat for that, my friend. No, surrender your booty to us, or just answer a question if you will. Is this okay? Sorry, is this pirate themed? Is this because you said, what was it? Yar. Is that a pirate thing? What's up, Zach? Yar! It's a raid. That's my pirate voice, by the way. I'd give that a 7 out of 10. And I don't need to hear how you guys what you guys give it. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Yar, is that a pirate thing? So surrender your booty to us. So not my booty, but like my treasure. I'm guessing is what you mean. So surrender my treasure to you, which, by the way, I actually feel less uncomfortable with. Or just answer a question if you will. Disney, are the numbers terrible enough for a new CEO and entire management team? They were. That's why they went back to Bob Iger. I mean, I don't think Disney is. So you go back last year. I think Disney overall came in third place of all the studios for the grossing of the. I think that was last year. I could be getting that wrong. But Bob Chapek, when he took over from Bob Iger for like the 2 or 3 years that he did, yeah, he ran it into the ground. He gave them really bad numbers. He made some really bad decisions. He took away authority from people who should not have had authority taken away from. And so that's why they went back and got Bob Iger, because the numbers were so terrible. So honestly, now that Bob Iger's come back, you're seeing the numbers are getting better. I mean, you can't fully give Deadpool and Wolverine him credit, but it did cross the $1 billion mark. That is technically one of their studio films. Inside Out 2 did phenomenal for Pixar. And Bob Chapek, when he was in charge, he was putting Pixar films on streaming service. He was putting it on Disney Plus. Luca, Turning Red, Lightyear went theatrical, but Lightyear didn't do very well theatrically. So, no, their numbers are getting better. I don't think that you need to fire or get rid of Bob Iger. He's repairing damage from Bob Chapek, and he seems to be doing a pretty decent job of it so far. So, no, I don't think so. Jessica Johnson, what's up, Jessica? Thanks for joining us. Saying the Ace Avenue raid, part of the Ace Avenue raid. Living Like Larry says part of the Ace Avenue raid. What is your favorite movie of the year? Yeah, so I have a video coming out with our members talking about this, but I will say it's a toss-up between Dune Part 2 and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And that honestly changes depending on the day. I thought Dune Part 2 was just a phenomenal achievement in sci-fi making, and just was one of the, if not the best theatrical experience I've had the entire year. Whereas Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I was just so taken by how they continued the story and the legacy of Caesar while introducing new characters that I got really attached to. And another one where it's just like a phenomenal achievement in sci-fi making and in the technology and the motion capture that they did. I mean, the one scene, I won't give it away in case people haven't, even though Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is out on Blu-ray and is streaming on Disney Plus right now. The scene where the characters, I'll just say, are drenched in water, when there's kind of a flood happening and these CGI, who knows how many hairs they have to fully animate apes, are just covered in. I thought that was a incredibly ambitious scene to try to pull off, and they nailed it. It looked phenomenal. I love Dune Part 2. I think Dune Part 2 looks phenomenal. My money is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes to win visual effects for the Oscars. I just thought what they did there was incredible. And I love the story of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So it goes back and forth. Honestly, today it feels like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is my #1 favorite of the year so far. But tomorrow it could be Dune Part 2. Emmanuel Throther says, do you think Spaceballs 2 will be as good as the original? No. No, I do not think Spaceballs 2 will be as good as the original, because what, especially when you do it that many years later, will it work? I remember we covered this story on Zach Milne Talks Live a couple months ago, and I'm on board for a Spaceballs 2. I am. I think that the space of fandom, especially with the Star Wars fandom, there's a lot that you could do with Spaceballs 2, playing with legacy sequels, playing with legacy characters, and just playing with like sequels that come out so far from when their predecessors were. I think there's a lot of fun ideas to have with Spaceballs 2, and I like Josh Gad. I think Josh Gad might be able to do something interesting and new and good with Spaceballs 2, but no, it's not going to beat the. I mean, first of all, you're not going to get Rick Moranis back as Dark Helmet, and that makes me sad. You could do a Kylo Ren type parody for this one, and then you don't need Rick Moranis. You can do a new one, but no, I don't think Spaceballs 2 will be as good. We've lost John Candy, like we've lost a couple of the cast, so some people won't be coming back. I expect Bill Pullman will come back. I don't think that's going to be a big stretch, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it could be great. It has potential. I'll say that it has potential to be great. Will it be great? I don't know, but I don't think it'll be as good as the original, because you got the nostalgia there, and it's just a classic. It's a cult classic. You can't really beat it. And whenever people have tried, it doesn't work out. Derek Jetter said, subs from the Ace Avenue. Well, thank you so much, man. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to our community. We're so honored and happy to have you here. And yeah, I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for the support. Derek Jetter says, what is your favorite movie trilogy? That's a good question. My favorite movie is Back to the Future, and I kind of count the trilogy all as one movie, but would I say that that's my favorite trilogy over, say, the original Star Wars trilogy, which I really love Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, but Return of the Jedi, I only really love the third act. I don't really love that movie. So does that disqualify it from being my favorite trilogy? Planet of the Apes is up there. For sure. The Captain America trilogy, honestly, as a big Marvel guy, that's up there for me. I really do love that Captain America trilogy for the MCU. The Toy Story trilogy, but I guess now it's 4 movies, so it doesn't count. Oh, man, that's a tricky question. I think today I'm going to go with the Captain America trilogy. I don't think that that's actually going to end up being my all-time favorite trilogy. You know what? I might have to think about that one and actually like really dive into my thoughts and dive deep into myself and find out what is my favorite trilogy. I should have that down. I'm 25. I should know what my favorite trilogy is. But today we're going to go. What did I say we're going to go with? Star Wars? That's not what I said. Captain America. We'll go with Captain America for now. Lore. What's going on, Lore? Thanks for joining. It says, what do you like to do during your free time? This. This is what I like to do during my free time. I'm on my free time. This is what I'm doing. I love to do it. I love to make YouTube videos. I love to talk movies, and that's what I do on my free time. Go to the movie theater. Aside from that, I like watching YouTube because I'm lazy, I guess. I love hanging out with family. I go over to my folks' place a lot. I'm a big family guy. I love hanging out with family and just, yeah, I'm very close with my family, so I go over there a lot, hang out with my grandparents, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, all those guys. So yeah, that's if I'm not doing YouTube on my free time, I'm either watching a YouTube video, I'm at the movie theater, or I'm over at my folks' place just visiting. That's kind of what I live an exciting life, I tell you. Emmanuel Strother says, what is your favorite Mel Brooks movie? Yeah, I haven't seen everything Mel Brooks has done. That's definitely on my list of a director that I want to watch all of his stuff for. But right now it's a toss-up between Young Frankenstein and Spaceballs. And honestly, it's probably Spaceballs. I think Young Frankenstein is a close second, but Spaceballs is just, it's got the Star Wars parody in it. It's my favorite parody movie of all time, so it's probably in default my favorite Mel Brooks movie as well. But yeah, Young Frankenstein, it's up there for sure. Trev's Movies, what's going on, Trev? Thanks for joining, man. He says, once again, congratulations, Zach, on becoming a father. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that so much, dude. And everyone who's congratulated me, thank you so much. Trev's Movies says, I'm glad this live stream was tonight because I've had kind of a rough day. If you remember last year, I kind of disappeared for a while due to me shutting down, basically. This week is one year anniversary of that happening, and I can't get it off my mind, but this show will help a great deal. Well, thank you so much, Trev, for saying that. I mean, yeah, I mean, rough days are tough, and I'm sorry you're having a rough day and everything. And the fact that you're saying, like, just being here, hanging out with us and being a part of the show is making it better, that is the greatest compliment that you could ever give. Thank you so much, dude. And thank you so much for being here and being part of this community, dude. We love you here. So thank you so much, dude, for being here. Malcolm Johnson, what's going on, Malcolm? Saying subscribe from Ace's channel. What are your thoughts on the Agatha series? Yeah, kind of talked about it a little bit now, a little bit earlier. I liked it. I liked the first 2 episodes. I thought that they were solid. I thought that they were fun. I liked the camaraderie between the witches so far. The intrigue with like who the teen character is and why exactly they're going down the witch's road. What do they want to get back? I liked all that. The Coven song was much better than the Acolyte Coven song. I can give it that for sure. And Catherine Hahn's a great lead. So yeah, honestly, so far really enjoying it, and it's actually being paced really well so far. I'm not bored, so I'm very happy with it. We'll see if they can keep it up though. Michael11591, what's going on, Michael11591? Thanks for joining, buddy. He says, congrats, Zach, on the baby. Well, thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Trev's Movies says, you just did a video on movies you'd show your kid. I did. That's very true. What are some TV shows you're going to show your kid? Yeah, TV shows. Man, that's tricky. Because immediately I go to, like, what I watched as a kid. Because, like, the stuff that I watched as a kid is kind of like what I've always been most excited to pass on to my, like, Drake and Josh. I don't know if it's going to be dated in their eyes. I don't care. I'm going to show my kids Drake and Josh. I'll probably show them, like, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. They'll probably see iCarly, Wizards of Waverly Place. Hannah Montana might pop in there. I don't know. I watched a lot of Disney Channel and Nickelodeon as a kid. as far as like other TV shows that I'm excited, obviously gonna show them the MCU, so they're gonna have to watch the Disney Plus MCU shows. I'm excited to show them Breaking Bad. I was very late to the Breaking Bad party. I watched all the series for the first time last year or 2 years ago. Time flies. I can't remember. It might have been 2 years ago. And I love that series. It's one of my favorites of all time. And I'm super excited, of course, to show them my favorite series of all time, which is Friends. Which, again, Friends, I don't know. It might be dated in their eyes when they watch it. That might be really sad for me. That's the sad thing about passing things on, is your kid isn't always going to latch on to it. There's definitely things that my dad tried to show me that I didn't latch on to, and I know I broke his heart, so that's unfortunate. And that's going to happen to me. But yeah, there's definitely, like, Friends is up there. Some of the shows, like Drake and Josh from my childhood, are up there. Breaking Bad's up there. Lots of good TV shows. Lots of good TV shows. I'm excited to show them. The Ace Avenue saying, are you going to see The Wild Robot? I'm hearing really good reviews. Yeah, I'm planning on seeing it tomorrow after work. I'm planning on seeing... I haven't got my ticket yet because, let's be honest, I don't really have to worry about getting a ticket just yet. I don't expect the theater to be popping. That's what I'm saying. I was not excited for this movie at all. I saw one teaser for this movie when I went to go see Inside Out 2, I think. There was one teaser for this movie, and I didn't think it looked all that interesting. I didn't think it looked up my alley at all. But yeah, like you said, there's been tons of positive reviews coming out. And I'm someone who, like, look, I'm not really a critic. That's not how I view myself. I just view myself as someone who likes to watch movies and talk about them. And I like to see good movies. So if I hear a movie's terrible or has a bad Rotten Tomatoes score and I'm not anticipating it, I usually don't go to it. So I wasn't going to go to Transformers 1 because I thought the first trailer did not work for me. Wasn't interested. Didn't watch the second trailer or any trailer after that because I already lost my interest. And then the reviews came out and they were positive and they were great. So I'm like, all right, sounds like I might go see a good movie. Went and saw Transformers 1. It was a good movie. So reviewed it. The Wild Robot, for someone who has a speech impediment and can't really say his R's, that's a really hard title. Thank you so much, DreamWorks, for that. The Wild Robot was another one of those movies where I wasn't interested in seeing it. I didn't care. I was totally gonna skip it. But now it's got like what is it at? It had like a really high Rotten Tomatoes score last time I checked. The Wild Robot Rotten Tomatoes score. Let's see here. Rotten Tomato scores. Let's see what they've got for the Wild Robot Rotten Tomatoes. Holy crap. Yeah, you see this right here? Let's see if I can get that on the screen for you guys. Where am I going? Oh, it's being covered by an ad. Great. That's fantastic. Anyways, what it says is it's got a... Can I get rid of this? Like, what's going on here? What's going on? I don't want you. I want to see the score. Oh, can you see the score now? There we go. Yeah, it's got a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. How many reviews does it have, though? It's got 69 reviews. Okay, so that's actually not bad. 99% at 69 reviews. Wow. So that is an extremely positive movie. Yeah, I'm gonna see it tomorrow. Wasn't going to, but like I said, now people are saying it's great, so I'm probably gonna go check it out. Right. Let's see here. Trev's Movies saying, just want to bring it up. I saw Transformers 1 3 times this past weekend. It made me so happy as a Transformers fan. I can't wait to buy it on 4K Blu-ray. Look, man, I'm so happy for you. I've never been a huge Transformers fan. It wasn't something I got into very much as a kid. I was more a Bionicles kid. I don't know if anyone knows Bionicles. They weren't really like Transformers. You had to build them and assemble them. They came in a jar. Now that I think about it, they were really kind of frustrating when I was a kid. But yeah, I didn't really have many Transformers. I got into Transformers through the Michael Bay movies. I really liked that first Michael Bay movie. Then the sequels happened, you know. So yeah, Transformers fans have been eating dirt when it comes to what the movies have been offering them. So I'm very, very happy that you guys got a great time at the theater, a good movie, and it sounds like it's really satisfying a lot of Transformers fans, including yourself. So that is awesome, and I enjoyed it too. Trev's Movies says, speaking of which, Deadpool and Wolverine drops on 4K Blu-ray October 22nd. Yes, it does. I will be picking it up. No questions asked. The Ace Avenue says, audio sounds good and nice haircut. Thank you very much. I did it for you. That's a lie. I don't know why I said that, but I did it for you guys. Did it for you guys. Third, it was my wife, and then it was pictures. I'm getting pictures taken on the weekend, and then it was you guys. So you're in there. You're in the list. Frankie Mega World. What's going on, Frank? Thanks for joining. He says, congratulations on getting a kid. Thank you very much. I got a kid. I did it. I got a kid. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Frankie Mega World says, on my one account, I have 6,000 subscribers. I'm guessing. Is that 6,000 subscribers? Congratulations, man, on 6,000 subscribers. That's what I'm guessing. That's what you're saying. Collective Movie Man's in here. What's going on, Collective Movie Man? Saying you sound really good. That's great to hear. The View with Drew. What's going on, View with Drew? Thanks for joining. Says, what's up, everybody? What's up, Drew? Thanks for being here, man. Frankie Mega World says, the You movie this year disappointed you and surprised you. Oh, the movie this year that disappointed you and surprised you the most. Yeah, for the surprise, it's got to be Transformers 1. As mentioned before, was not anticipating it whatsoever. I thought it looked awful, and it ended up being great. So I think that surprised me the most for sure was Transformers 1. Disappointed me the most this year? That's tricky. What was something that I was anticipating this year that didn't live up to my expectations? I don't have to think about that. I'm terrible with remembering what I've seen. I'm so bad with remembering what I've seen this year. Yeah, no, I know there's a movie. There's definitely a movie that I was disappointed by. There's a movie. Oh man, I can't remember what the movie is now, but everyone else really loved it. And you know, I was disappointed with Beetlejuice. I think I can go with Beetlejuice. I know a lot of people loved Beetlejuice, and I wasn't necessarily like strongly anticipating Beetlejuice. I did think it looked fun from the trailers, and I enjoyed the first film, but it didn't work for me. I know it worked for a lot of people. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. It did not work for me. You can check out my review to find out more of my thoughts on that. Toxic Gamer 331, what's going on, Toxic Gamer? Thanks for joining, man. Olo Zach, Olo, back to you. How's your day been? My day's been good, actually. I had a good day. Yeah, I've got a new role at work, which started off a little rocky, but has gotten a lot better. I'm actually really enjoying it, and I had a really good day at work. I felt on top of things. I felt organized. I feel like I was efficient, and I feel like I did a good job today at work, so that automatically makes my day a lot better. Went out, got a nice haircut that the Ace Avenue really likes, so that was a success. So, yeah, good day. It's been a good day so far. And my new Firefox TV came in today, so I can finally start catching up on some things, because my Firefox TV that I had before, I don't know what happened during the move or something. It's not working anymore. It didn't work anymore, so finally got a new one, and yeah, happy to get back to watching some TV shows with my wife. We've just been binge watching Friends on Blu-ray for the past month. Movie reviews with Ryan Lane. What's going on, Ryan? Thank you for joining, beloved channel member as well. Says, do you plan on seeing Megalopolis this weekend? Looks interesting at the very least. I was planning on seeing Megalopolis this weekend, but my theater's not playing Megalopolis this weekend. I don't know why. I don't understand the decision behind that. It seems like it should be playing in my theater. I mean, Francis Ford Coppola is behind it, but they're saying it's gonna flop, and it's gonna flop pretty badly from the looks of it. So I don't think I'll be the only one who doesn't see it this weekend. But yeah, my plan was to see Megalopolis this weekend, but it's not playing. But The Wild Robot is playing, and so it's got great reviews, so I'm gonna go check it out. Toxic Gamer 51 says, watching AEW while watching you at the same time, and soon going to watch Rush Hour 3. Always a privilege, man, to be part of your multitasking. Thank you so much for including me in that. Frankie Mega World saying, guess my favorite movie this year. I'm going to guess Dune Part 2, because that seems to be a lot of people's. Collective Movie Man, hey Zach, what did you think of the first episode of The Penguin, and the new episode is this Sunday? Oh man, I watched it. I watched the first episode of The Penguin. I loved it. I loved The Penguin episode 1. If they just stopped there, if it was just this mini little movie featuring Colin Farrell's The Penguin on a side thing from the Batman, this episode would have satisfied me completely. Obviously, they set up things, and things are happening to the point that I want to see the rest of the series. But man, from the start of this episode, I was just hooked. I was the connections to the Batman with the Flood and how the Flood at the end of the Batman plays into the first episode, I thought was brilliant. I loved all the little subtle nods to it and how it's affecting lives in Gotham. I thought they did a wonderful job executing that, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the series might dive deeper into that. But Colin Farrell as the Penguin, as the main character, he was phenomenal in this first episode. He was absolutely incredible. I liked him a lot. I thought he did a phenomenal job in the Batman. I thought he was even better here. The little subtle twitches and changes of expressions to his face just say so much about his character. And the lead, I guess, like antagonist to the Penguin, Sophia, I forget what her actress name is, but I believe her character name was Sophia. She is freaky, man. She commands such presence on the screen just by being one of those villains where it's like they act like everything's okay and that's how you know it's not. And the writing was incredible. The execution of everything was great. I loved it. I loved being in this world. It felt just like being in the Batman world that we saw in the movie. The connective tissue there was so strong and seamless, and I cannot wait to watch the rest of this show. That first episode it's my favorite premiere episode of the entire year. Granted, I haven't watched much TV this year, to be honest with you, but it might be one of my favorite premiere episodes of any comic book show that I've ever watched. I freaking loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I wish that we had the rest of the series to binge, but we don't, unfortunately. And in some ways, that's a good thing because I'm going to be anticipating this every week, and sometimes the anticipation is the most fun. So I'm very happy with how the Penguin's turning out so far. And yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the Penguin yet, I strongly recommend checking out that first episode. Toxicgamer331 says, have you watched any movies since your last live for the first time? I watched Sinister and the first 2 Rush Hours movies, and I thought they were all solid. Have I watched any movies for the first time? I don't think so. I watched the first 2 episodes of Agatha. I watched first episode of Penguin. Did I watch a movie? No, I didn't watch a movie, I don't think. Yeah, no, I didn't see a movie. I didn't see a movie yet. Toxicgamer331 says, are you going to be seeing the Wild Robot this week? Yep, going to be seeing it tomorrow. That's the plan, right after work at 4 o'clock. I'm off at 3:30, but at 4 o'clock, I'm going to go up to my theater, and I'm going to watch Wild Robot. And I'll probably be the only one in that theater. I guarantee maybe there'll be like 1 or 2 other people in that theater. I don't know. You know what? This might take down the graphic on the back. Let me see quickly here. Let me see how many people are currently seated for the 4 o'clock showing of the Wild Robot tomorrow. Let me just go onto my theater app here. Let's go to tomorrow, Thursday, Wild Robot. I'm seeing it at 4 o'clock in the biggest theater. Let's see here. Add a ticket. Let's see who's in here. Oh, okay. I take it back. I don't know how much of this I can show. I can probably show that. The gray seats are the ones that are taken. I don't know if that's going to focus or not. There is, yeah, the gray seats there. Those are the ones that are taken. So actually, there's quite a bit already in there. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 8. There's already like 21 people. There's already 21 people. Okay. I take it back. There's going to be a bit more company than I was expecting. So there you go. Wild Robot actually might be getting some eyes on it. That's good because I hear it's great. So good movies, they should be successful. David Elias just sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, David Elias, for sending that in, man. I appreciate that. He says, thank you for answering the question masterfully. Well, you're welcome. I don't quite know what I did, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. And thank you so much for the support, man. That means a lot. Let's see here. Where are we at? We're at Toxic Gamer says also congrats again on the kid, by the way. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. Trev's Movies says, any interest in seeing Superman, the Christopher Reeve story? I saw it Saturday night and it was great and very emotional. I have a lot of interest in seeing that actually. I won't say that like I grew up with Christopher Reeves as my Superman, so to speak. I definitely watched his movies. Would I say he's my Superman? I mean, there's not really many other ones to choose from, so I guess so. I'd probably put Henry Cavill as my Superman over Christopher Reeves if I'm being honest, but the documentary trailer in and of itself looked emotional, it looked heavy, it looked great. So just as a documentary story of this man, learning more about Christopher Reeves, I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, this has my attention. It's had my attention for a little bit. I'm looking forward to checking it out. Carl Riegler says, it's a raid. I guess this is more Ace Avenue raids. Thank you so much for coming over from Ace and checking out our little show over here. Frankie Megaworld says, my favorite singer is Shawn Mendes because he just never He just never misses. He never misses, I'm guessing. I like Shawn Mendes. I'm pretty into like pop music. That's kind of what I listen to mostly. So I definitely enjoy some Shawn Mendes tunes. Toxgamer331 says, I was supposed to see Wild Robot tomorrow, but a hurricane is coming through tomorrow, so the movie theaters are closed, unfortunately. So I'll probably see it Friday instead. Well, Toxic Gamer, stay safe. That's the most important thing, is just be safe. I hope you're safe, man. I'll be praying for your safety. And yeah, I hope that hurricane just, I don't know, passes over, doesn't cause too much damage, too much anything. Hopefully everyone is safe, everything is good, and I hope all that for you as well, my friend. Safety is first, for sure. David Elias says, yar, it's a raid, pirate raid. So it was pirates. Okay, I thought so. Toxgamer331 says, along with a movie called Azrael as well, along with a movie called Azrael as well. I am not familiar with that one. Actually, you know what? I think I've heard people say it, but I've never seen a trailer for it, and I don't think I've seen a poster for it. So I don't really know what that is, to be honest. Carl Riegler says, do you think the New York Giants win on Thursday? Oh yeah, they got it in the bag. Absolutely. I think when you look at the New York Giants, they're just so big that everyone else is just like little ants compared to them. So they have to win. And you know, but there is David and Goliath. So we do know what happened to Goliath. David did beat Goliath. So I'm not saying that Giants can't ever win, but or can't ever lose. But in this case, the New York Giants, I don't think they're going to lose. I think they're just too big a team. And if you can't tell by now, I know nothing about sports. I know you guys came from the Ace Avenues channel. Ace is a sports fanatic. He's great with the sports talk and the movie talk. I just got the movies over here, unfortunately. I apologize for that. But yeah, I'm baseball. I don't know that I've ever watched a single game of baseball. Like, not even, like, I've played baseball in, sorry, just trying to get this back up. I've played baseball in school when I've had to in PE, but other than that, I don't think I know anything else about baseball. You hit a ball and run to 3 bases. So I'm very sorry about that. But yeah, I'm not the sports guy. That's definitely Ace's avenue. You see what I did there? Ace Avenue says, yeah, I think David was trying to be a pirate. Oh, okay, so it's just David. It's just David who's the pirate. None of y'all are pirates. Y'all? What am I? Like Southern now? I messed up. That's funny. Blue Hawk, what's going on, Blue Hawk? Thanks for joining, man. It says, hey, Zach, Blue Hawk is here because of our Yankees guy, Mr. The Ace Avenue. I will try and think of a great question to ask you about movies. By the way, I just subscribed to your channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody who's coming over from the Ace Avenue and joining us over here and joining our community, throwing in questions, contributing to the chat. I appreciate it so much, guys. The show is made better because you are a part of it, and I appreciate you guys. And the Ace Avenue, I appreciate you so much, dude. You have been nothing but supportive beyond my wildest dreams when it comes to our channel, man. And I just thank you so much for getting the word out. Thank you so much for, yeah, telling people that this is a place that's worth being. That makes me feel really, really privileged and special. And thank you so much, man. Dace Avenue says, it's all good, David. He knew what you meant. Yeah, I figured it out. David Elias says, thank you, good sir. It sounds good to me. Well, thank you very much. Toxic Gamer 331 says, who's a movie reviewer you think is too negative on movies, and who's a movie reviewer you think is too positive on movies? Interesting. That's an interesting. That's a really interesting question. Well, obviously, the go-to answer for people who are too negative on movies is those people who are all like the woke cloud. You know, okay. I don't want to cause a frenzy in the chat. I don't know exactly how this will go over with the chat and everything, but there's many reasons why people don't watch Ben Shapiro. I can't watch his movie stuff. I've tried watching Ben Shapiro. Sometimes I watch his movie takes, and I'm just like, oh, that's fascinating that you think that way. I don't agree, but that's fascinating. And then there's other times where I'm like, this is like mind-numbingly dumb to me. What you were saying about this movie, and he tends to lean pretty negative on a lot of things, to be honest. So that's one that pops to my mind. I know that's a very polarizing figure. But when it comes to his movie stuff, yeah, I don't really get on the same page as him. Same with a lot of other people on the what is it, the Daily Wire. As far as someone who's too positive on movies, I mean, I'm pretty too positive on movies. I think most people I listen to are pretty balanced. I think 3C Films, Sean Chandler, Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, Christian Harloff, John Campia. Those are like the main guys I listen to. I think they're pretty balanced. I don't think I listen to or watch too many people who are like just I love everything kind of people. So yeah, I don't know. I can't think of one for too positive. I don't think I've stumbled upon too many of those channels, and if I have, I've left them very quickly, and I don't really go back to them. Toxcator331 says, are you going to be getting Deadpool and Wolverine on physical media next month? I might, even though I already wrote it on my Christmas list. Nice. Yeah, I'm going to be getting it. My birthday is actually October 20th. So I was hoping that it was going to come out like October 15th, 18th or something like that, or even the 20th for my birthday, and then I could just ask for it for my birthday. But that's going to be 2 days after my birthday, so I'm just probably going to get it. I'm probably just going to get it myself. Unless I have a late birthday get together, then maybe someone can get it for me. But other than that, yeah, I'm definitely picking it up. I'm definitely picking up that movie. Not only because I just need it in to complete the rest of my MCU collection. I like the movie quite a bit, and I want to own it, and I want to watch it again. I want to watch that opening sequence over. That's gonna be my bedtime routine. It's gonna be Zach gets into his pajamas. This is my bedtime routine. Zach gets into his pajamas. Zach brushes his teeth. Zach gets into bed, and then Zach puts on Deadpool and Wolverine, watches the first bye 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 intro, and then he turns off the TV and goes to bed with a big smile on his face. That is going to be my new bedtime routine. I know my wife will love that. Movie review. Ryan Lane says, I know between the channel and work you don't have a lot of time on your hands, but what's your favorite book? Yeah, I don't have a favorite book. I haven't read a book in a very, very long time. I'm not advocating for that. Reading's great. It's just not something I tend to spend my time on, to be honest. As far as like, I'm really enjoying, I haven't gone too deep into it yet, but I'm really enjoying what I picked up like last year when they made the announcement. I'm going through The Last Ronin because they announced that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles R-rated movie, which I'm super excited for. R-rated Turtles, yes. But I'm reading The Last Ronin, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So that's something I dabble in, but like not on a consistent level. Like every once in a while I pick it back up and read through it again. I have a couple of years before the movie comes out, so I'm not like trying to rush through it, but that's kind of what I've had my hands on, and that's what I'm enjoying so far. Blue Hawk says, Zach, do you think the movie Oppenheimer was worthy of all the Academy Awards that it won? What are your thoughts on that movie? I haven't seen it yet. Couldn't afford the movie theater ticket price. What did it win? It won, one sec. What did it win? What did it win? Because I think Cillian Murphy won. Let's see here. Oppenheimer. Why can't I spell today? Oppenheimer Oscar wins. Let's try to type it in that. Oppenheimer wins 7 Oscars. Okay. It won 7 Oscars. What did it win? It won... Give me like a full list. Here. I don't... This list is stupid. This list is stupid. Give me the... Just name it. Do the full list, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I did it win... It didn't win Best Picture, did it? I can't remember if it won Best Picture. I wish I could remember what it won. Oh, yeah. Oppenheimer wins Best Picture at the 96 Academy Awards. Okay, yeah. So it won Best Picture. It won for Cillian Murphy. Yeah, okay. That's enough for me. I really love Oppenheimer. I thought Christopher Nolan and the whole cast and crew did a fantastic job on that movie. Visually, like, the explosion scene is obviously the big money scene in the film. I like that it was effective and subtle. It wasn't like a big blockbuster explosion, but it was effective, and how they showed the aftermath of everything was beautiful. I do think again, I didn't see everything last year that was nominated for Best Picture, but of everything that I saw, I do think Oppenheimer was very worthy of winning Best Picture. And Cillian Murphy, I thought, was fantastic in the movie, so I do think he was completely worthy of winning Best Actor. So yeah, my thoughts on it are it's a damn good movie, and I strongly recommend checking it out. I mean, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's a drama, lots of science talk in it, but I feel like they did a really good job of executing the science, making the science in some ways very suspenseful and thrilling, and I loved it. I thought it was a great movie, and yeah, I do think that it was deserving of all the Oscar wins. Although The Holdovers, that's the best picture in my heart. The Holdovers will always be the best picture of that year in my heart. Frankie Mega World says, hot take, I think Episode 5 is my least favorite of the Star Wars trilogy. Episode 5 is Empire Strikes Back, which is my favorite of the trilogy, of the entire Star Wars franchise, and one of my favorite movies of all time. So that is a very hot take, my friend. But to each their own, man. To each their own. I love Empire Strikes Back. Movie Reviews with Ryan Lane says Toy Story isn't even a quadrilogy anymore. There's going to be a 5th theatrical movie. Yes, there is. There's going to be a 5th one. Bonnie's got a tablet. The world's going crazy. Woody's back in the room. What is going on with Toy Story 5? We talked a little bit about Toy Story 5 last week. I guess you guys didn't really hear that, though. So what I will say about Toy Story 5, kind of talking about repeating what I said last week, even though you guys couldn't hear that part. I'm very nervous for Toy Story 5 because Toy Story 4, I was nervous for Toy Story 4 as well after Toy Story 3 because Toy Story 3 was just such a great trilogy ender. And when they announced Toy Story 4, I was very nervous that they were just a cash grab. They just wanted money from a franchise that they could rely on and going back into the well of the toys and all that stuff. But what turned me around on Toy Story 4 was when they started talking from the creative perspective of how the people who made Toy Story 4, they made it because they realized that Toy Story 3 ended Andy's story, but it didn't end Woody's story. And they felt like Woody's story had to come to a conclusion, and they had this idea that just gnawed at them, and they couldn't, it's like an itch they couldn't scratch until they finally wrote the movie and got the movie out there. And I actually like Toy Story 4 quite a bit. I think the movie turned out fantastic. I have not gotten that sense from Toy Story 5, though. Toy Story 5, all I've gotten from Toy Story 5 is Bob Iger went, our box office is tanking. What movies made $1 billion? Moana, a sequel. Zootopia, the sequel. Frozen, sequel. Give that another sequel while we're at it. That's going to be another $3 billion right there. What else made $1 billion? Toy Story 4, do a 5th one. That's how it feels. It feels like, okay, we can make $1 billion off of Toy Story 5, so make a Toy Story 5. I haven't heard anybody talk creatively about it to the point where they're like, we just need to get this movie out because we have this fantastic idea for Toy Story that we need to get onto the screen. I haven't heard that like I was hearing from Toy Story 4. Granted, we're early in the process. That could come down the line, down the road. Maybe they will start talking about Toy Story 5 that way, and they kind of have to if they're going to sell the movie. But as it is right now, Toy Story 5, I'll be there. Obviously, I'll be there, but I'm nervous. I'm worried for it. Talks Gamer 331 says, should Eddie be brought back in Stranger Things season 5? Yes or no? Mine is no. I don't think Eddie should be brought back Odds are he will be, because he's a fan favorite, and it would be a big pop to have him back. And if you're gonna have someone that the audience loves in the show, it's only gonna help the show with that audience. But I think, like Barb, the death being final is where it impacts. And I also think the Eddie character in season 4, I thought that the way that he sacrificed himself for that death was very appropriate for the end of that character's arc. And I think that character is actually more well remembered and will be more beloved over time if you end it there and you keep it there. You bring him back, you have the potential to mess up his story, mess up the story overall. So I think you should just leave him there. I think Eddie should just be dead, and it was a great death. It was a noble sacrifice, and that's where I think you should stay. But if you're asking me what I think is going to happen, I think he's going to come back. They'll find a way. Frankie Megaworld says, you think Sean Chandler will hit 3,000? He is at 287,000. Yeah, he will. He will. I mean, I don't have the timeline of when he will, but he will. He definitely will. He only keeps growing. I love Sean Chandler. You guys know that. If you guys have been watching the show for months now. I think I watch on average 2 Sean Chandler videos a day. I'll go back and rewatch things in his catalog. I like the guy a lot. I like his content. Toxic331 says, pick up any physical media this month, Zach. I can't grab them at the moment without being awkward. Only True Lies and The Abyss. The Abyss and True Lies. That's what it was. I did get I got a movie from Warner Brothers in the mail the other day. I think it was Watchers. I can't find it at the moment, but I think it was Watchers. So I also have Watchers. Emmanuel Strother says, what about Blazing Saddles? I've never seen it. I wasn't allowed to watch it when I was younger, for good reasons, I'm sure, and I never got around to watching it. You know what? I think I might do, because I'm doing director rankings, and I'm having a lot of fun doing director rankings. I might do Mel Brooks. I might just go through all of Mel Brooks' catalog and watch all his movies and then rank them all. That sounds fun. Toxic331 says, I picked up quite a few. I got Mel Gibson's The Patriot on 4K, Sinister on Blu-ray. That's a freaky movie. Furiosa on 4K. You know what? I got Furiosa from Warner Brothers. That's what it was. I got The Watchers last month. I got Furiosa. I'm pointing because that's where it is. I got Furiosa in the mail from Warner Brothers this month. So I also got Furiosa. Rush Hour Trilogy and The Descent. Nice. I've never seen have I seen The Patriot? No, I don't think I've ever seen The Patriot, and I haven't seen The Descent. But Furiosa, good. Rush Hour, awesome. That's fantastic. And Sinister is to this day, I think, still the freakiest movie I've ever had to sit through. My friend made me watch that. Frankie Megaworld says, I think Back to the Future 2 is better than the first. I got a ranking video Back to the Future. You can find out what I think about that specifically. But on any given day, there are times where I'll watch Part 2 over Part 1. Not gonna lie. Toxic331 says, probably the coolest one, Stranger Things Season 1 on Blu-ray, but it's shaped like a VHS. I have that too, my friend. Where do I have that? Where do I have that? Do I have that accessible to me? I have that somewhere. I have that somewhere. The big giant thing. Maybe be able to find it. I don't know. I've got it somewhere. I have that somewhere. I love it. I spent way too much on it. People who have been in the chat before, months ago, they know how much I spent on it. Way too much on it. I think I spent 120 on that because I thought it was a collector's item. I thought it would be really hard to find. Apparently a lot of people are finding it very cheap nowadays, so I should have just waited a couple years, but I do have that and I love it. It's great. I also have season 2 somewhere. I also have season 2 somewhere, and it's like a clamshell VHS, which is pretty awesome. I wish I could pull that out for you, but I don't see it. I cannot. Ace Avenue says, High School Musical has definitely got to be on your list of things to watch with your child. Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is. I'm worried of how they'll respond to it. I wonder if kids nowadays resonate with High School Musical, because I don't feel like the whole concept of he can't play basketball and be in a musical at the same time. I wonder if that still resonates today, or if people think it's just stupid. Because when I watched High School Musical as a kid, that felt relevant in some ways. It did kind of feel like there was boxes and groups that you were a part of, and you couldn't really like jump back and forth. In fact, in middle school, when I got into drama, when I got into like drama club and doing acting and stuff like that, there were friends of mine that weren't into that, and I was into that, and I had to pick between my group of friends or doing the acting stuff. And when I did the acting stuff, you know, just kind of I chose that, and the group of friends was just kind of like, you know, we don't really do that. And so I got kind of outsed by my group of friends, but so that resonated with me. But I don't know. I wonder if kids today still do that. But it's gonna happen. I'm gonna show them High School Musical, and I'm gonna play the soundtrack in the car when they're sitting there. I'm going to indoctrinate them. They are going to love High School Musical. Movie reviews with Ryan Lane. What do you think about there being a sequel to Wizards of Waverly Place? Wizards Beyond Waverly Place. Look, I've seen my fair share of childhood shows coming back to know that since this is on Disney Channel, they do say they're premiering it on Disney Plus the next day, but this is a Disney Channel show. It's not going to be for me. I'll check out the first episode. The trailer, I watched the trailer the other day. It does feel very much like the original show back in the day, but for, you know, it's on Disney Channel. It's not aimed at me. It's aimed for people who grew up with the show and now have kids who watch the show, and you can sit there and watch and be like, I know these characters, but this is mainly for my kid. There's nothing about the trailers or anything that has said, yeah, this show's for me. It's going to focus on a younger new girl who's a wizard and the siblings of Justin, and Justin's going to be the dad figure. And I think Selena Gomez is in like the first episode, but she's not going to be a regular. Like, she's not going to keep popping up. I think she's only a special appearance in the first episode. So I think it'll be well done for what it is. A continuation of the show, but for young kids. I'll be shocked if I like it. It gives me Girl Meets World vibes. Whereas Boy Meets World, I didn't really grow up with Boy Meets World, but it was kind of around a little bit before my time, but still there. And then Disney Channel decided to do a continuation series with Girl Meets World. The original cast came back, the original creators came back, but it was not the same because it was made for a Disney Channel young audience of the time, and it was awful. It was terrible. It was not like Boy Meets World. It was terrible. And I don't really see Wizards of Waverly Place being any different for me. But hey, you know what? All they can do is surprise me. I hope I love it. I hope it's great. Maybe I'll be able to look past all the flaws and just be able to get sucked back into the nostalgia of these characters. But for me, it just makes me nervous. Just it's probably not gonna be something I enjoy. I'm even one of the rare people who love iCarly when I was growing up. Like, iCarly was one of my favorite shows. I was not a fan of the reboot. A lot of people said it's the only reboot who ever did it right. A lot of people gave iCarly reboot a lot of praise. I thought it was cringy and terrible. So that's just me. Frankie Megaworld says, next week I'm seeing Gladiator 2 early. That's really early. Doesn't that movie come out in like November? You're seeing it next week? That's awesome, man. I hope that's a good sign. I hope that shows that the studio has a lot of faith in it if they're letting people see it that early. Unless you're seeing, are you seeing like a, what do they call it? One of those screener, what are they called? Test screens. Are you seeing like a test screen where they're going to play the movie and see how it plays for the audience? Because that's really early to be seeing that. Movie reviews with Ryan Lane says, I'm excited to see The Wild Robot. A guy I used to work with at a movie theater now works at DreamWorks. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Congratulations to that guy. I'm looking forward to seeing The Wild Robot as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do and how good it really is, because 99% on Rotten Tomatoes from 69 reviews, and every critic that I follow is giving it rave reviews. I'm excited. Let's see here. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. What did I do? Where did we leave off? I feel like I just hit something. Where did we? Lots of comments in here, guys. Thank you so much for all the support and for being here. Here we go. Movie reviews with Ryan Lane. I'm excited to see. There we go. Talks Game with 331 says, you excited for the spooky season, Zach? Also, just curious, will you watch Five Nights at Freddy's for Halloween? Maybe. You know, I'm not a huge Halloween guy. But one thing I really like about Halloween on this channel is doing horror movie reactions. And I haven't been able to do, you know, one per week for all of October. That's just been taking too much time. But I want to do at least one. And I want to get a poll up for which one you guys want. And Five Nights at Freddy's is actually on my list of possible. So here's what I have on my list that I would probably do as a poll for a movie reaction that I would post on Halloween. Because you guys know I'm not a huge horror guy. I'm a pretty big scaredy cat. Horror is not my main genre. I enjoy horror to a degree, but it's not my main genre. So there's a lot that I haven't seen. So on the list so far, and you guys can put it in the chat if you want to add other suggestions. I might have seen them, who knows, but right now the ones that I'm kind of got on my list that I'm debating for is Five Nights at Freddy's, Long Legs, Friday the 13th. Oh shoot, what was the what was the other one? I forgot. Oh, I had one more. Come on, Zach. Brain farts live. Come on. What was the Five Nights at Freddy's, Long Legs, Friday the 13th, and there was one more, but I can't remember what it was. So those are three. I'll have to check out what the other one was. But if you guys have other suggestions of possibly a scary movie reaction that I could do, put it down in the chat, and I'm gonna put up a poll a little bit later. Talks Gamer 331 says, I'm excited for The Wild Robot because Sean Chandler said it was phenomenal. I saw his out of the theater reaction. He was very positive on the movie as well. Gets me excited. Collect Movie Man says, I'm also seeing Joker 2 next Monday, September 30th in IMAX the fan screening. That's a little bit less early because it comes out on October 4th, I want to say. Joker 2 comes out October 4th. Yeah, October 4th sounds right. So, the fourth movie was Final Destination. That's what it was. Final Destination was the fourth movie. That came out at the wrong time. But yeah, that's awesome, man. Next Monday, you get to see the fan screening of Joker 2. I'm so curious to see what I'm going to think of Joker 2. I mean, the reactions have been kind of mixed, which isn't too different from the first Joker, and I loved the first Joker. So the whole musical aspect, getting Lady Gaga in there, playing Harley Quinn, there's a lot that this movie's trying to do. I think it's very ambitious, and I'm excited to see what they pull off. And the fact that you get to see it that early, man, that's very exciting. Congratulations. Talks Game with 331 says, I also read early reviews for The Wild Robot to where supposedly adults left with tears in their eyes. I've heard that it's very emotional. I've heard it's gotten a lot of people in their feels. So we'll see how it goes. Collective Movie Man says, did you hear what type of movie James Cameron wants to make after the Avatar movies are done going into production? Yes, I did. And you follow up saying he wants to make a movie based on the events when the two bombs that were dropped on Japan during World War II. Yes, we were going to talk about this on the last episode of Members, but we just ran out of time. We couldn't get to it. James Cameron is actually going to direct a movie that's not Avatar, guys. Yeah, it's happening. The first since the last movie was 1997, and that was Titanic. That was the last movie that James Cameron directed and wrote that was not Avatar. But he's picked up the rights to some books based off I think it's based off a true story of a true man during World War II in Japan when the Hiroshima bomb went off and the aftermath and all that. Sounds fantastic. James Cameron coming out of the Avatar land to do something like this. I am so excited. I cannot wait. And it's so ironic too because I literally just finished watching all of his movies in chronological order from beginning to end. So I'm a big James Cameron fan right now, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do with this movie. And I'm just excited to get a James Cameron movie that's not Avatar. This is the first time I've been alive. Think about that. I was born in 1998. This is the first time I've ever been alive where James Cameron's going to direct a movie that's not Avatar. That's really exciting for me. He's produced and all that stuff, but he's directed and writing a movie that's not Avatar finally in my lifetime. Very excited about that. And I hope it's great. I need to drink water. Been going too long without water. All right, I'm just Spider-Man'd out today, aren't Let's see here. Toxic Gamer 331 says, for me, the biggest moment of the year is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and I was surprised by Transformers 1. Yeah, I liked Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I didn't think it was great. But as a Ghostbusters movie, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. Frankie Mega World said Furiosa and Deadpool Wolverine and Wild Robot. Furiosa and Deadpool Wolverine and Wild Robot. I'm not quite sure. Oh, as in like it. No, that was if. I'm sorry, Frankie. I'm not quite sure what we're talking about. Is Furiosa and Deadpool, Wolverine, and Wild Robot, those were your favorite movies of the year? I'm guessing is what you mean. Daily Reacts Gaming, what's going on? Thanks for joining, dude. Great to see you in here. It says, hey man, how are you doing today? I went to my first Comic-Con and met the 1987 Donnie from Turtles Forever. I was pretty tired after and hung out with my voice actor, Uncle Larry, Kenny the Voice. Uncle Larry, Kenny the Voice. Of Lion-O from Thundercats, 1985. That's pretty awesome, dude. That's awesome. The fact that you met the voice of Donnie from Turtles Forever, that's awesome. I loved that. I saw that when it premiered on TV back on the Kids WB, Warner Brothers Network or whatever it was. Man, that must have been like, that had to have been like 2000. I want to say 2010, 2000. Oh, maybe that was 2009. When did Turtles Forever come out? Because before there was Into the Spider-Verse. They did it first with Turtles Forever. Where they had the current iteration of the Turtles meet up with the classic Turtles. It was 2009. That's when it was. Turtles Forever 2009. They did it before Spider-Verse did it. And it was fantastic. And it was made for TV. So that's really cool that you met that guy who did the voice for Donnie from that TV movie, because I loved that as a kid. It was fantastic. It was kind of my first, I guess it was kind of my first multiverse movie I ever watched, which is kind of funny because I always think Back to the Future Part 2 is, but I guess that would have been the first one I ever watched. The Laser, what's going on, Laser? Thanks for joining, dude. He's saying your audio sounds better. That's great. Good to hear. Everyone's been saying that so far. We've been going for over an hour, so it's good to hear that the audio has not been wasted. I'm very happy. Frankie World says, I do love Dune Part 2. It's top 5, definitely. Nice. Toxic Gamer 331 says, what's the worst times you got jump scared while watching some movies? Well, going back to one of the movies that was mentioned, Sinister, I watched that movie with a friend at like 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And there's a scene in the movie where they're watching some tapes, and it's like this lawnmower just going across the lawn. And all of a sudden a head appears and the lawnmower. That was a big jump scare for me. That freaked me out. Another jump scare for me was in Hereditary when the girl loses her head. I don't want to spoil it. I guess that's kind of a spoiler in and of itself. But that scene made me jump. That was shocking. Oh, and the classic Conjuring clap scene. That freaked me out. I watched that movie by myself in my room alone with the lights off at like midnight. And that scene completely freaked me out. Even more so the scene where the like the gremlin lady appears on top of the cabinet. That freaked me out too. Oh no, the biggest one. I gotta go back to that. The biggest one is in Conjuring 2, when the girl is sitting on the couch or on the chair and she's watching the TV, or the TV's not on, and then they pan back to her and there's this guy behind her and just yells in her like that. Oh, that freaked me out. That was a big one for me. Daily Reacts Gaming says, I also did a ranking of 2003 TMNT and I'm proud of myself for making that video. I hope you check it out when you get a chance. I will check that out because that sounds awesome, man. That's awesome. A whole ranking of the 2003 TMNT. I love that series. That is my Turtle series. Like, that is the Turtle series that was on when I was growing up, and I watched that all the time. I watched the old 80s as well, and I watched the 90s movies, but the 2003 series, I loved that so much as a kid. Toxic Gamer 331 says the TV transition to real life jump scare got me from Sinister. That's a good one too. Yeah, Sinister had a lot of big ones that freaked me out. Collective Movie Man says, I think that it's my second favorite premiere episode this year. I'm guessing you're talking about the Penguin episode 1. I loved it. I loved that. Oh, it was so good. The Laser, did you see the trailer for Dream Productions in the world of Inside Out. It looks very cute and it takes place between Inside Out 1 and Inside Out 2, so New Emotions won't be here. I didn't know they dropped a trailer for that. Oh, you know what? Actually, maybe I did. Maybe I saw that they dropped the trailer. I didn't watch it though. I haven't seen that yet. I'm not gonna say that I'm like super interested in it. It just kind of seems like it'd be like Pixar shorts, but on Disney Plus as a show. But I'm curious because, you know, it's still Pixar. It's still got the imagination. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. But I haven't seen the trailer for that yet. You know what trailer I did see, though, that we haven't talked about? I'm surprised no one's brought it up. The Thunderbolts. I clicked on. I saw the Thunderbolts trailer that they, like, dropped randomly the other day. And I don't know how many people are talking about this Thunderbolts trailer. I haven't seen too many people discussing it. Or even doing trailer reactions to it, which was kind of surprising. But I thought the trailer was awesome. I thought the Thunderbolts, technically it's a teaser, but it's like 3.5 minutes long, which is crazy for a teaser. That's one of the longest teasers I think I've ever seen released. But the tone looks fantastic. I love the ensemble of characters of what's her name? Florence Pugh, Red Guardian, Bucky's in there, Taskmaster. I love seeing Ghost in there because I thought Ghost was a great character in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I was totally underutilized, and I wish that she had come back sooner, but she's going to be in Thunderbolts. I love seeing John Walker in there. I thought the action looked grounded, and it just felt like phase 1 and 2 and 3 Marvel again, and the humor was working for me. And I love the callback of Bucky with that gun that he and bomb that he had from Winter Soldier blowing up the car at the end. I love that it was a real explosion, a real car driving down a road. It just looked great. It looked great. Everything in it looked tangible. I have very, very high hopes for the Thunderbolts after seeing that teaser that they put out yesterday. I hope it doesn't disappoint. But I haven't seen this Inside Out one yet. I have to check that out. Jonesy737, what's up, Zach? What's going on, Jonesy737? Thank you so much for joining. It's a great honor to have you here. Collective Movie Man says that scene when he's getting tortured, he's naked, is insane. Yeah, in the Penguin. And the prosthetics. Let's talk about the prosthetics on that scene. Oh, first of all, when the scene, I won't give anything away, but the scene when Colin Farrell as Oz goes back to his apartment and takes his sock off. Oh man, I don't know if it was CGI prosthetics or a mixture of both, but oh, I squirmed. Oh, his foot. That's all I'll say. Oz's foot. I squirmed. Oh, it was gnarly. But yeah, that scene was completely insane. The full body prosthetics on Colin Farrell was just, man, it looked great. This show's gonna win so many Emmys. I just, like, come next year, this show's gonna win so many Emmys. Definitely got makeup in the bag. Colin Farrell, I don't see if he keeps up the performance that he's keeping up for the rest of the series. He's got best actor in the bag. I love that scene. That scene was so good. And really, really cemented Sophia as a very threatening and intimidating villain or antagonist in this show. Collective Movie Man says, I just saw the Christopher Reeve Superman movie on Sunday. It's a good documentary, but also very emotional. I actually teared up in the movie theater a few times. That's what I'm looking for. Give me emotional and let me learn about Christopher Reeves. He seemed like a phenomenal guy. And I honestly didn't know what he went through and what happened to him until like a couple years ago. Like, I just never really looked into Christopher Reeves. And the fact that this documentary is going to be showing all that, it just looks like a good documentary, and it doesn't matter what it is. I just love a good documentary, so I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of like biopics for me. I don't really listen to many people's music that have biopics. Like that new The Unknown trailer with Timothée Chalamet, directed by James Mangold. That looks like a great musical biopic, but I don't really. Who is that? Why don't I? I don't actually know who it's supposed to be, but I'll learn about him, and I'm looking forward to it. Toxicator331 says, who do you think is going to be the next big MCU death? That's a good question. I mean, I'm trying to think of who would be the most impactful. Maybe Thor? Maybe they kill off Thor, because Chris Hemsworth isn't going to want to do this forever. And you may want to kill off Thor at some point. Maybe Bucky. You know, he's been in the MCU for a very long time, so he might want out pretty soon. Who knows? But you know, the money. Maybe they want to stay in forever. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You don't kill Shang-Chi. It's too early. Miss Marvel, you definitely don't. They would be ballsy to kill Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I mean, if they're going to introduce eventually down the line, which I believe they will, a Miles Morales, and you want to do it, accurately to the comic lore, you would kill Peter Parker. So Tom Holland's death would be, I mean, technically he's already had a death scene, but he would be pretty impactful. But I don't think they're going to kill him off for a couple years now. Yeah, I don't know. Jump your suggestions down in the comments, guys. Who do you think will be the next big MCU death? That's kind of a testament, though, to like how there hasn't really been that many characters since Phase 3 after Endgame that I've really resonated with, because everyone I think of who would die, I wouldn't necessarily have a strong emotional reaction to. Michael11591 says, did you see The Substance? I did not. It's not even in my theater. I don't even know if it's out yet. But it's not in my theater, unfortunately. Trez Movie says, I bought the Inside Out 2 Steelbook recently, and it ticks me off that that's the only way to get the 4K disc. Oh, really? That's terrible. Disney only recently releases their movies on 4K movies on Steelbook now. Well, an important note to talk about with physical media when it comes to Disney. You guys might remember we covered this on the show a while back. Disney doesn't have control over their physical media anymore. At least not the putting out of their physical media. They have given their physical media responsibilities, so to speak, to Sony. So Disney's still putting out physical media, but Sony has taken control of it. They've kind of taken that burden off of their plate and given it to Sony. So that sounds like a Sony decision. Just saying. But that's unfortunate. You can only get the 4K if you buy the Steelbook. And the Steelbook is always so much more expensive. I gotta get Inside Out 2 myself still. Trez Movie says, excluding 20th Century Fox films. Whoops, sorry. Oh, was that a follow-up to who will be the big MCU death? I'm not quite sure what we're referring to, Trev. I'm sorry. I lost it. I can't seem to find it either. Sorry, man. I'm not quite sure what we're referring to. Blue Hawk says, God bless you, Zach, and your growing family. Congratulations on your new baby. My wife and I have 7 children. Wow, you're a warrior. We are very blessed. So are you and your wife and child. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much, man. Yeah, we're very excited. We're gonna start with one. See how we feel. But 7, that's why I have a friend that has like 5. But 7, that's incredible, man. But yeah, we're gonna start with the 1. Very excited for them to get here, and thank you so much. I really appreciate that. The Laser says, happy you're becoming a father, man. You're gonna be such a cool dad to your kid, and your kid will want to be just like you. That's so sweet, man. You're gonna make me cry. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. The Laser says, my favorite singers are Dua Lipa, Rihanna, and Imagine Dragons. All very talented people. Michael11591 says, I followed you on X and left a comment. Well, thank you very much, man. I will check out that comment once the show's over. And thank you for following me. I never really promote my Twitter or my Instagram or anything like that on the show. I don't know why. I just like... I don't know. I don't feel like I do much over there. I just kind of post what I'm doing over there. So... But I appreciate that. Thank you so much for following me. That's really nice of you. ToxGamer331 says, now switching to Rush Hour 3. Enjoy, man. Have a fun time with that one. Frankie Mega World says, no joke, I'm watching Venom 3 later today. Really? That's early, too, because doesn't that come out October... When is Venom? October 15th or something like that, isn't it? So that's early. That's early to see that. I hope you like it. I hope we all like it. The Laser says, are you excited for Piece by Piece, the Lego Pharrell Williams biopic starring Pharrell Williams, Kendrick Lamar, Snoop Dogg, Gwen Stefani, Jay-Z, and more? Oh, Jay-Z. Yeah, I am actually. This Piece by Piece, I think it's flying under the radar. I don't know how well it's going to do. I think it's a very fascinating and unique way to do a biopic. Especially like including Pharrell Williams' songs and all that, and making it a comedy and kid-friendly and all that stuff. I'm very optimistic for it and very curious to see how it's going to turn out. It seems very ambitious and bold and unique and different and new, and I champion all that, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to check it out. Trez Movie says, in Transformers 1, when D16 yelled, well, might be some spoilers here. I am Megatron. It made me so happy, and then Orion Pax became Optimus Prime. Well, I mean, everyone knows they're going to become these people, so I guess it's not really a spoiler. But when D16 yelled, "I am Megatron," it made me so happy, and then Orion Pax became Optimus Prime was so freaking great. It was such a great movie. Too freaking good. Yeah, the way that they did the parallel of that, I thought they did a really good job with it. 3D Movie Cinema says, "Hey, what's up, Zach? What's going on, Jake? 3D Movie Cinema, thanks for joining, dude." He says, "How are you doing, man? Are you gonna see Terrifier 3? Also, I tried getting a Batman Forever Hot Toys, and man, those bastards are expensive. You got any? Take care, you sexy man." Well, thank you very much. That was a very unexpected ending, but I appreciate it. No, I don't think so. Look, I just don't think it's for me. I watched the first Terrifier before it even became like mainstream. I saw the first Terrifier back in like 2000. When did I see the first Terrifier? It had to have been 2018. It was either 2018 or early 2019 because I saw it with a bunch of friends. We had like this, like, we watched the All Hallows Eve. We just kind of found it. The All Hallows Eve short film that introduced Art the Clown. And then we found out that they made a movie off that character, so we watched Terrifier at, like, again, this is like 3 or 4 o'clock in the, maybe it was a little bit earlier, maybe it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And it was too gross and disturbing and just icky for me. In some ways, I found it hilarious, but it's not something I'd want to go back and watch. I haven't seen Terrifier 2 because I heard they just like amped up everything that went on in Terrifier 1. And then Terrifier 3, like, taking the Christmas angle. I'm worried about the kids in it. I feel like this is a franchise that wouldn't shy away from Art the Clown doing his thing with kids. And I don't think I want to see that. So there's nothing about the Terrifier films for me that appeal to me. So I don't think I'm gonna see Terrifier 3, to be honest with you. Oh, what happened to the chat here? Are we stuck? Oh, shoot. Oh, Michael Entity sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you so much for sending that in, dude. And Michael Entity, a beloved channel member, thank you so much, dude. He says, I finally watched Sinister, and man, you were right. Yeah, man, freaky movie, right? I tell you, man, scariest movie I've ever seen. Scariest movie I've ever seen is Sinister and Hereditary. But Sinister, I don't think I could ever go back and watch it. Oh, man, it was terrifying. Here we go. We're back up here. The Ace Avenue says, have you ever seen any sports movie? And if so, do you have a favorite? I mean, of course I've seen them. I mean, this is going to sound weird, but the first one that comes to mind that I'm just going to say is Happy Gilmore. I recently just watched Happy Gilmore again because my mom apparently had never seen Happy Gilmore. So we had a family movie night and we all watched Happy Gilmore. I love that movie. I love it so much. My favorite Adam Sandler movie, I think. I know it's not like, it's technically a sports movie because it's golf. It's not the one that you would typically go to, but that's the one that's popping to my head right now, and I don't want to delay anymore, so I'm going to go with Happy Gilmore for this answer. So there you go. Trez Movie says, it's hands down my favorite movie of the year. Now will the Wild Robot dethrone it? We'll find out this Friday. Yeah, I mean, there's people who are saying the Wild Robot is better than Inside Out 2, which at the moment, Inside Out 2 is not just my favorite animated movie of the year, it's one of my favorite movies of the year. It's like in my top 5. So I'll be incredibly impressed that the Wild Robot beats it. The Laser says, do you miss school? What were your favorite classes and the classes you struggle with most? For me, it's algebra because my God, all the stuff you have to do. Yeah, I was never great at algebra. Do I miss school? That's a good question. I'm assuming you mean high school. I didn't really go to university. I went to university for a month, and then it was during COVID, and it was all online, and I thought it was dumb, so I quit and got married instead. So high school, do I miss it? In terms of like, would I want to go back? No. Just no, I wouldn't want to go back. I miss hanging out with my friends every day. I miss my friends in particular. A lot of them moved away, and I don't see them too often anymore. But yeah, I have very fond memories of high school that I miss the just going to school and knowing you're going to see your friends every day and hanging out and having fun when lunch break and stuff comes around. I don't really get that at work. I enjoy work more than I enjoy school days. work days and over school days, I think. But yeah, in terms of like the social aspect, I kind of miss school. My favorite classes. I was pretty decent at English. I liked English. English for me, like reading a book and then having to write an essay or something on it, it kind of felt like doing reviews for me. So I actually did pretty decent in English class, which I'm proud of. I enjoyed drama class for sure, acting and all that stuff. I really liked that. I struggled a lot in science. Science was always, and physics. I took a physics class in grade 11, I think. It might have been grade 11, but that was a struggle. I just barely passed the physics class. That was probably my biggest struggle I've ever had at school. Yeah, for sure. Frankie Mega World says, when I get back from watching it, I'll let you know if it's worth the time. Please do. I really appreciate that. I think we all do. Toxic331 says, have you seen Batman Forever? If so, what are your thoughts? I like Batman Forever. I think Batman Forever, there's nostalgia tied to it as well, because of course I own the VHS. I watched it as a kid growing up, and I love Jim Carrey. So you put Jim Carrey in there. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I'm gonna go see Sonic 3. Besides the fact that the trailers look good, and I've enjoyed moderately the first two movies. Sonic is kind of the only way I can see my Jim Carrey anymore. That seems to be the only role he wants to play right now. So love Jim Carrey. You put Jim Carrey in it, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna get a pass for me because I just love Jim Carrey. So I do like Jim Carrey in it. And Batman Forever kind of towed the line between being the cartoony, goofy that Batman and Robin went over the top with, and actually being like a pretty solid Batman film. I think Batman Forever is a good Batman movie. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's high tier, but I can watch it and enjoy it. And I think Val Kilmer was a great Bruce Wayne and a great Batman. And Chris O'Donnell was kind of an annoying Robin, but mostly just the way the character was written and stuff. And Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face just kind of felt like he was trying to keep up with Jim Carrey and was really struggling. But he's still fun to watch in the role. And then Nicole Kidman is just like a freaky, horny Batman gal. So that's always kind of funny to watch. Nathan Joining Movies, what's going on? Nathan, thanks for joining, dude. He says, hi, Zach. What have you seen for the first time recently? I saw Never Let Go, Transformers 1, Pet Sematary 89, The Graduate, and Ouija. I've only really seen Agatha and The Penguin for the first time recently. I haven't really watched, and Transformers 1, but that was like a week ago. So, yeah, that's about it. Brandon McDaniels. What's going on, Brandon? Thanks for joining. He says, Halloween is right around the corner. What's your favorite movies to watch for Halloween? It's It 2017. I love watching It 2017. Recently added to the roster is Abigail. I love watching Abigail. I like watching Nightmare on Elm Street. The Conjuring. I love watching The Conjuring on that day as well. Coraline. I know it's not like a horror, but I love watching Coraline. And I gotta end it with A Nightmare Before Christmas. That's not really a horror film. But you said, what's your favorite movies to watch? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a horror film. Toxic Hero says, you're not alone. I don't read either, brother. That's funny. The Ace Avenue says, The Last Ronin was a great series. I have all the comics. Yeah, that's a bundle of, I believe, all the comics. So I should have them all too. Toxic Gamer says, isn't it crazy how many times Jackie Chan has gotten injured on movies? Thank goodness he's still here today. He's a beast. I can't believe some of the stuff he's gone through and some of the stuff he's broken, and then he's gone and made more movies and broken more stuff. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Collective Movie Man says, also it won Best Director and won Best Visuals. Oh, I definitely should have won Best Director. This is Oppenheimer, obviously. And it also won Robert Downey Jr. his first Oscar, Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, there's a lot that I missed. All deserved. All worthy. I completely agree with them. Collective Movie Man. Yep, Star Wars Episode 5 is also my favorite in the Star Wars trilogy. Nice, man. You and I were on the same brainwave there. I almost said same. I don't know what I was going to say. ToxGamer331 says, how would you grade each month for movies this year in letter form for how good the movies were that month? Man, January gets like an F. I can't think of a single thing I liked in January. I'd probably give like a D to February. January, February. March was solid because it had Dune. Solid B+ for March. January, February, March, April, probably a B+. May was probably, I'd give it an A-. Had some good stuff in there. June was good. June's a solid A. July had Deadpool and Wolverine. I'd give July a solid. Yeah, I'll give July a solid A as well. And I didn't see anything in August, and so far September, solid C. C plus. I give it a C plus. The 8th Avenue says, okay, Zach, I value your opinion and I need it. Do you think the TMNT are superheroes? I have this debate with my friend all the time. He thinks they are. I think they aren't. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's break it down. Let's break it down. What's the criteria for a superhero, right? Generally speaking, they have to be vigilante. Someone who takes on crime outside of the law. They have to have powers, right? Not all the time. Skills. They have to have skills. They have to have powers / skills in which they go out onto the streets and inflict the criminals of the town or city that they live in with their skills and use it for good. They have to have an origin story, which the Turtles do. An arch nemesis, who's also kind of superpowered, which you could say is the Shredder. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they did originate in comic books, which, you know, superheroes, they don't necessarily have to originate in comic books, but in the case of the Ninja Turtles, they did. So, if we're looking at a superhero criteria, roughly, with those, the Turtles, they've got powers. They're not just ordinary turtles. They were hit with ooze. They got big and they trained and got muscles and they know ninjutsu, so they have skills. So check. They have an origin story and they have powers. Are they vigilantes? Yes. They go out, they fight crime, and they do it outside of the law. Do they have an arch nemesis? Yes. Shredder. I think they're superheroes. I think they count. I think, you know what? I would even say this. The Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, are more superheroes than the Guardians of the Galaxy. Because if we're following that criteria, at least in the movies, let's talk about the movies. At least in the movies, a lot of them are just aliens. So not really superpowers. Like Gamora, not really superpowers. Drax, not really superpowers. Star-Lord, not really superpowers. I would go as far to say that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are more superheroes than the Guardians of the Galaxy, and we say they're superheroes. So I'm gonna take your friends on this, Ace. I think that you do qualify the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as superheroes. Why don't you think so? I would love to hear your thoughts actually in the chat. Why don't you think the Ninja Turtles are superheroes? I would love to hear your criteria for that. Because breaking it down, I think they are. The Laser. How would you feel about Toy Story 6? If they have a great story and it's creatively driven, I'd be fine with it, but let's see how Toy Story 5 turns out. Collective Movie Man says, hey, Zach, do you keep skipping my question? I said I just put up a new video today showing off all my pickups for August and September. If you have the time, check it out. I'm so sorry, man. I did not know I was skipping your question. I'm so sorry. I must have missed it. Yeah, I was not doing that on purpose. I apologize, Collective Movie Man. You have a new video out. That's awesome. Pickups for August and September. I will check that out when I have the chance, and you guys should go check them out as well. Frankie Mega World says, I forgot I saw Joker 2 and Smile 2 and you saw Joker 2 and Smile 2 and both are amazing. If you felt worried about Joker 2, please don't. Well, that's good. That's good to hear. I am shocked that you already saw Joker 2 and Smile 2, man. You're living it up. That's fantastic. Emmanuel Strother says, Zach, what is your top 3 MCU movies? That's gonna be Infinity War, Endgame, Civil War. That's been my order for a couple of years now. And I don't see it changing anytime soon. Infinity War, my goodness, what a movie. All my heroes and characters that I've loved over the course of like 10 years all coming together in one movie. You got a great villain in Thanos. It's got the Marvel humor, but it's also got stakes. It's got a fantastic finale. I love Infinity War, #1. Endgame, it's just the ultimate payoff movie. Everything that they set up in like the beginning of Iron Man, all throughout the 22 movie arc, gets a payoff, gets resolution, gets a satisfying conclusion in Endgame. That is such an like Mount Everest feat to do, and I can't believe Marvel ever pulled it off. And it's 3 hours long. It goes by like it's 2 hours long. I love Endgame. And then Civil War, I love the drama. I love the conflict between Tony and Captain America. I think they did a really great job of establishing both their ideologies while also not definitively saying one is right or the other. I love the airport battle. The way they bring in Spider-Man is so much fun. Yeah, Civil War. My number 3 for sure. I think honestly followed up with that is probably the first Iron Man, probably at number 4, because every time I go back to watch the first Iron Man, I always forget how fantastic of a movie it is. Toxgamer331 says, I'm going to head out now because I got work tomorrow, so have a nice rest of your all's night. And great stream as always from a great guy, and everyone always remember pizza time. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for the kind words and for being here. You have a great day at work tomorrow. The show is made better because you were a part of it, my friend, and I appreciate you, dude. You have a good night. David Elias says, Ace Avenue, they're hard to translate from comic to real screen, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles need super good detailing artists who can recreate a reptilian humanoid with ending up in the uncanny valley. I think the movies have done a pretty good job of not ending up in the uncanny valley. As much as I have problems with the Michael Bay produced Ninja Turtles movies, I thought they looked pretty good, especially since they were CG and motion capture. The Laser, do you think Disney will ever make a Wreck-It Ralph 3, or are they just going to rely on billion-dollar franchises? I would never say never. I think they made a misstep with Ralph Breaks the Internet a little bit. I think that movie wasn't as memorable or cinematic as the first Wreck-It Ralph was. Honestly, I think Ralph Breaks the Internet is pretty forgettable. And as far as like the clever humor and imagination you're used to from Disney, I think it was kind of low for a sequel. So I don't know. I don't know if Ralph Breaks the Internet made it that audiences really want a third one. But if there's money to be there, money to be found, money to be made, they're gonna do it. So I would never say never. I'm sure they'll do it one time. Travis Mitchell, what's going on, Travis Mitchell? Thanks for joining, man. He's saying, how's everyone doing? I'm doing pretty well. How you doing, man? It's trying to the Laser. I think there's a Wreck-It Ralph story to be told in the days of game emulators, video game stores closing, and all the games being free online for young people to discover. That's an interesting story. That's an interesting avenue to go. They kind of did that a little bit in Ralph Breaks the Internet. They kind of dipped their toe in that, but to go further into that, that'd be pretty cool. The Laser says, that would be a really cool story. Hope they don't turn Ralph into a jerk like they did in Wreck-It Ralph 2. Yeah, he was pretty unlikable in that. Travis Mitchell says, basically losing the art of being social and playing games and the physical aesthetic of playing a real game for the system it was made for. Ralph meeting a person who wants to be like it was. Oh, I see. Yeah, going further with it. That's pretty awesome. The Ace Avenue says, yeah, legacy show sequels don't have a good track record. Girl Meets World, Fuller House, the iCarly reboot, and that 90s show. Oh, that 90s show. Yeah, I was disappointed in that 90s show. That was not good. They just don't have the same appeal, in my opinion. I completely agree. I agree with all of those. Girl Meets World, I thought was terrible. Fuller House is a little bit like was Full House always great? Like, let's be honest, like, I watched it with my mom and with my family. Like, it was a staple in my household. I like Full House. But when we take the nostalgia out of it, when we take, like, was it really good? Like, to go, like, for a show that went 8 seasons, that show wouldn't last 1 season today. And that's just, you know, the times were different, the times now, and how people consume television and all that stuff is different now. So you can't really hold it against that. But my point is, that show, you know, wouldn't have really done well today, and they were making that show today with Fuller House. So it was very true to what the original show was, but in the culture and in our landscape of television and stuff, it just was not really what people are into consuming. I mean, the Full House fans, they seem to get their kick out of it. It went for 5 seasons on Netflix, so someone was watching it. I think I watched it for two seasons. But yeah, I just eventually it was just like, it's cool to see the characters growing up, but I don't want to waste my time on this anymore. And then yeah, the iCarly reboot I've talked about forever on this show. Very just not. I didn't think it was good. And yeah, that 90s show was disappointing. Travis Mitchell says, agreed on iCarly, Zach. Part of the original's charm was how it pushed boundaries while remaining a kid's show. Having them now just swearing and losing subtlety ruins it. Absolutely, completely agree. It felt like they were making a Nickelodeon show, but now they could swear and drink. And it was like none of the storylines. And my biggest problem with the iCarly reboot is her whole thing of starting up the web show again. It hardly ever really factored into the show. It didn't really feel like it mattered that she was doing the web show again. And everyone just kind of felt like they like it was supposed to be an adult show, and none of them felt like adults. None of them had relatable problems. Yeah, I was disappointed in it. Frankie Mega World says it could be. I know. It could be. I know. Sorry, lost it. I'm not quite sure. Dace Avenue says I got myself early access to Joker Folia due for this Monday. Dude, nice. That's awesome. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. I'm really excited to hear what you think of that. The Travis Mitchell says Cobra Kai isn't technically a legacy reboot to a TV show, but as a show that's a sequel to the movies, it's fantastic. Aside from that, I'd argue Roseanne the Connors has the spirit of the original. I never watched Roseanne, so I can't speak to that. But yeah, Cobra Kai, I'm very impressed. Every time I think about Cobra Kai and go back to watch Cobra Kai, I'm always so impressed that from the Karate Kid, they were able to get this show. I'm watching, I just finished watching part 1 of season 6. I still feel like it should have ended in season 5, but I do think the last like 2 episodes of season 6 got kind of interesting. I don't know how they're going to stretch it out for 2 more parts, but I'm hoping that it ends well, because they did a really great job with Cobra Kai. The way that they expanded on the lore, expanded on the characters and the story of Karate Kid while introducing a new generation of Karate Kids, the cast. Like, I love the new cast as much as I love the old cast. That's a very hard thing to do with legacy sequels, especially a TV show like this. And the fact that the show started on YouTube Red. Like, I remember watching the first episode on YouTube Red, and now that it's become this like Netflix thing and it went for 6 seasons is a test. Like, it's incredible. Unbelievable what they were able to do. And when it's all said and done, no matter how season 6 ends up turning out, I love Cobra Kai. I love it. Travis Movie says, fair warning for doing a Five Nights at Freddy's reaction. Universal Pictures abuses the copyright system. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of copyright claims. Yeah, copyright claims on my videos right now because I've been using a lot of Universal footage. It doesn't bother me too much. With a movie reaction, you know, that generally could get more views than normal, so I might be losing a couple dollars on it. But like, whenever I put out like a movie review or something that gets copyright claimed, I usually just like, if I dispute it, and if the dispute doesn't go anywhere, I just kind of, you know, move on, forget about it. I'm really not losing much money on it with AdSense and everything. Honestly, you guys watching the live streams, you guys contributing to the super chats and all that, like that contributes. And of course the members joining and being a member on any tier, that contributes the most to my YouTube revenue success, which is awesome. So yeah, if it gets copyright claimed, whatever, it gets copyright claimed. As long as the video is viewable, that's all I care about. As long as it's viewable and it's not blocked worldwide or blocked in certain regions, then I'm fine with it. But that is a good point. That is something to be aware of. So thank you for bringing that up. The Laser says, question, do you ever talk to yourself? I do it because I'm alone and because it makes me feel cool. I always talk to myself. I talk to myself all the time. Sometimes I'm praying to God and it sounds like I'm talking to myself, but I'm not. Even to myself, sometimes praying feels like I'm talking to myself. But I talk to myself a lot, especially at work. All right, Zach, you got to do this. All right, Zach, good job. All right, Zach. I call myself out. I say my own name. Is that even more pathetic? Is that less pathetic? Is that cooler? I don't know. That's what I do, though, so I'm the same way. So I relate to that. The Ace Avenue says, have you seen Get Out? That's a good one to watch. I love Get Out. I've seen all of Jordan Peele's. I've seen Get Out, I've seen Us, and I've seen Nope. Nope is my least favorite, but honestly, I rewatched it like last year or so, maybe a year and a half ago. And I liked it more than I liked it when I saw it in theaters. But it still is the bottom for me, and then it's Us, and then it's Get Out. Get Out is like, it's the first one he did, and it's like his best one still to this day. I'm looking forward to seeing what else he does, though. The Laser says, imagine they play F the Police and Joker 2. I wouldn't put it past them. It's possible. Travis Mitchell says, a couple horror recommendations for reactions are Fright Night, Monster Squad, and Night of the Creeps. Scary but not overly inappropriate or depressing, just the right amount of fun. I like that. Thank you so much for taking that into account with the inappropriateness and depressing. So Fright Night, Monster Squad, and Night of the Creeps. All right, I'll look into those and we'll see what happens. Trev's Movie says, let's be honest, one of the best Superman movies is The Iron Giant. He died saying he chose to be Superman. That is very true. I love The Iron Giant. The Iron Giant's so good. I feel like in like people who grew up in my generation, around my age, I feel like the Iron Giant is a very beloved classic thing. I don't know if the Iron Giant is passed up to enough generations. Like, I feel like the Iron Giant is extremely underrated. That's a great movie. It was overlooked when it first came out. It flopped at the box office. I think it was going up against Tarzan, so people went and saw Tarzan instead of the Iron Giant. But yeah, it was a great movie. Travis Mitchell says, legit misheard that as a Pixar movie about two bombs that hit Japan. Yeah, nope, not Pixar. James Cameron. The Laser says Avatar 5 comes out in 2031, so we gotta wait a long time. It does, but you have to remember that the movie's probably gonna wrap before that, because he's already, according to James Cameron, at least last time I saw an interview with him, this might be outdated information at this point, but Avatar 3 is apparently shot, and Avatar 4 is apparently halfway shot. So they're probably gonna shoot Avatar 5 within the next coming year, maybe, and then he's gonna work on the post-production, but he'll probably direct. He'll probably be able to direct the next movie. I would say maybe 2027, maybe 28. I don't think it's going to take him all the way to 2031 before he starts directing his next movie. The fact that he's gearing up to do another movie proves that. The Laser says, I was born in 2008. You are young, my friend. 1 year before those blue Fern Gully goofy-looking creatures ruled my life. 1 year before those blue Fern Gully goofy-looking creatures ruled my life. Why don't I know what that is? Why don't I know what the blue Fern Gully-looking creatures? In 2009, what came out? I have no idea what we're referring to. I feel dumb. Collection Movie says, did Jared Harris from Chernobyl, the TV show, he was asked to play Dumbledore and he declined, and he said the Harry Potter books don't need to be turned into movies. They are masterpieces of... I'm guessing you mean turned into TV shows. They are masterpieces of movies. He said this to the studio heads of Warner Brothers. That's ballsy. To say that to the studio heads, that's ballsy. I don't agree with him, necessarily. I think that there is merit to doing a Harry Potter TV show, because the movies couldn't go as deep into the books as this TV show is going to be able to do, because they're dedicating a season to one book. They're going to be able to go even deeper than the movies went. And in the end, we're either going to get great movie series and a great TV series, or we're going to get a bad TV series that no one's going to talk about or remember, and will just fall on the radar. And those movies will always stay classics and will always be remembered. So either way, we don't lose anything. David Elias says, my horror movie suggestions are Event Horizon and Alien. I've seen Alien. I don't know if I've seen Event Horizon. The Exorcist. I've seen The Exorcist. Dog Soldiers and The Howling. I've never actually seen either of those. And 28 Days Later. I've seen 28 Days. I might be thinking of 20, or is that a vampire movie? I'm thinking of a different movie. I don't think I've seen that. Okay, good suggestions. Thank you very much. I will put them. I'll put them away, and we'll see what happens. The Laser says, Thunderbolts looks amazing. Completely agree. It went from being on my number 16 as my most anticipated of 2025 to number 5. Very hyped, and Captain America 4 will suck. Monkey butt. I'm nervous for Captain America 4, like a lot of people are. My optimistic hope for Captain America 4 is the fact that they allegedly went back and did reshoots and like retooled the whole movie because it wasn't working. They noticed it wasn't working, so they basically reshot the entire movie. That gives me a little bit of hope with Captain America 4, but Thunderbolts, it's shot right up there. It's shot over Captain America 4, and at the moment, it's shot over Fantastic Four. I'm very looking forward to the Thunderbolts. Collector Movie Man says, I just found out yesterday the Comic-Con here in Michigan is November. Andy Serkis, you're going to see Andy Serkis there. That's awesome, man. That's very exciting. Frankie Mega World says, as someone you ain't a fan of Batman, I love Penguin. You're not a fan of the Batman? Okay, I loved the Batman. I thought the Batman was great. No, you can't say that. They're going to come for you. I don't know if you guys heard that, but my wife says she loves the Batman. I don't think they can even hear you. Yeah. Anyways, I'm glad you love the Penguin, because the Penguin's a great show. It's fantastic so far. Collective Movie Man says, I thought the Thunderbolts trailer looked pretty darn good, but I am also excited for Gladiator 2. I didn't see the new Gladiator 2 trailer. I heard it was much better than the first one because the first one was cool. It definitely looked expensive. It didn't do anything to really get me that excited. I just worry because Ridley Scott has not been on his game lately, and Napoleon did a lot to hurt my enthusiasm for another Ridley Scott movie. So maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good. I'm hoping, but at the same time, I don't know. It's hard to have faith in it, but the trailer, it looks beautiful. The Laser says, do you think that Thunderbolts is connected to Captain America 4 since Bucky, Val, and U.S. Agent were in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and those movies are releasing 3 months apart? Well, it's the MCU, so they're all connected. They're all interconnected. It's going to connect somehow or another. That's one of the things that makes the MCU so appealing, is how they're able to do this connective universe. Granted, in phase 4 and 5, they kind of lost that a bit. Hopefully they're going to get back to that, but yeah, in some way or another, it'll connect. Collective Movie Man says, yeah, I was listening to John Campia. He's already hearing that there are different sources that could be nominated next year for the Penguin. He's already hearing from sources that the Penguin could be nominated next year. He's already hearing that there are different sources that say the Penguin could be nominated. I'm assuming you're saying the Penguin's going to be nominated next year, and I agree. I think it definitely will. Nathan Joy Movie says, will you be watching The Wild Robot this weekend? Yes, I will. And earlier in the stream, in the show, sorry. I don't like calling it a stream. Earlier in the show, we found out that at least 21 other people will be watching it with me. The Laser says, did you see that John Wick Presents Ballerina trailer releases tomorrow? Also, John Wick 5 is in the works. Yeah, I don't think they need John Wick 5. I feel John Wick 5 the same way I feel about Toy Story 5 in some ways, where it's like John Wick 4 clearly felt like it was supposed to be the end of this story of John Wick, of this entire thing, wrapped it all up in a bow, conclusion, it was over, and it was fantastic. But the box office for John Wick has consistently increased, and to the point where John Wick Chapter 4 was the highest grossing of the entire franchise up until that point. So, of course, if you see trajectory going up and just more money, of course they're going to do a John Wick 5. I think it's in I think the John Wick 5 decision is for the money and not for the character. I don't think they're thinking of what's best for the character and moving forward with the story. I think they just want the money. That's how I feel about it. Granted, every movie that's ever made was made with the intention of wanting money. I get that. But that's just how I feel with John Wick 5. It feels like John Wick 4 was such a big, massive hit, success with money, so they decided to do another one. As far as the trailer for Ballerina, it's about time. That movie was supposed to come out, I believe, last year. It got delayed. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't like the title of John Wick Presents, or no, it's From the World of John Wick Ballerina. Just drop the From the World John Wick. Like, I don't like that's what you put in the trailer. That's what you put on the poster to tell people what it is. Just call it Ballerina. Just keep it Ballerina. I hope they do that. Dragon Movie Guy, what's going on, dude? Thanks for joining, buddy. He says Bob Dylan. Collective Movie Man follows up with, it's supposed to be Bob Dylan when he's younger. That's what the movie... Oh, Timothy Chalamet. Okay, Unknown... Or what's it called? The Unknown? Unknown singer? Unknown guy? Unknown talent? What is that called? Is it called The Complete Unknown? It's supposed to be Bob Dylan. Okay, that makes sense. Well, we did a jump there. Kenny Sparks sending in a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Kenny. Welcome back, Zach. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that so much. And thank you so much for the support towards the channel in that way. Let's see. Your Dragon Movie Guy says Timothy Chalamet and James Mangold, Bob Dylan's biopic. Yep. Okay. So it's Bob Dylan. Okay. Thank you so much for letting me know that. Because I honestly didn't know. I honestly couldn't remember. Nathan's Better Movie says thoughts on the new Gladiator 2 and Thunderbolts trailer. Well, as mentioned before, I haven't been able to watch I haven't clicked on the Gladiator 2 trailer yet, but Thunderbolts, I loved it. I love the tone. I love the characters. I love the setup of like they're all sent out to get each other, but it's a trap. Someone else is trying to get them. I think the action looked great. The comedy hit. It could be the best MCU movie next year. It's my most anticipated over Captain America and the Fantastic Four at this point. The Laser says Frozen 3 releases in theaters in 38 months from today. Are you excited? I don't know if excited's the right word. Because I don't dislike the Frozen movies. I also don't love them. Like, I'm not thinking about Anna and Elsa very often, which is probably a good thing for more than two reasons. But yeah, no, I don't go back and rewatch Frozen very, very much or at all. I don't think I've watched Frozen since it came out, and same with Frozen 2. And I liked Frozen 2 more than the first Frozen when I saw it in theaters, if memory serves me right. Somewhere deep in the archives of this channel, I have a review for Frozen 2 for when it came out, but I haven't seen it since the theater. So am I going to go watch Frozen 3? Yeah. I'll go watch Frozen 3 because it's going to be like the biggest movie. It's going to be something worth talking about. It's going to be something worth reviewing on the channel. Am I excited for it? Not really. I'm not like eagerly anticipating the day when I get to watch Frozen 3. But I think it'll be good. I mean, the first two have been good, so I think the third one will be good too. Collective Movie Man says, yeah, did you hear that Tom Holland just signed a deal for Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6? I saw something about that. I wasn't sure if it was confirmed or if it was rumor. But, I mean, hey, you know what? Tom Holland, I want to see him go on. I want to see, for the very first time, a Spider-Man that goes from being a teenager to being a college to being an adult. Even if he ends up, because they're bringing Zendaya back, if they end up getting him married to MJ in the movies and we get to see him grow into this adult, and then maybe you kill him off, and then you do Miles Morales, like, I think that would be a really awesome thing to see. Or maybe you get Mephisto in there and break up their marriage like in the comics. I don't know. Maybe you find a way to make that work where it couldn't work in the comics. But, yeah, 4, 5, and 6. I mean, let's face it, though. Tom Holland's career outside of Spider-Man hasn't been great. It's not that he's failed. It's not that he's not, like, he just did a play that was very successful. Like, he's getting work as an actor, but he has nothing, absolutely nothing, as beloved as Spider-Man. No one comes to Tom Holland movies like they come to Tom Holland movies when he's playing Spider-Man. So why wouldn't you sign on for 4, 5, and 6? Plus the money, plus you're in the biggest franchise in the world. Totally makes sense, and I'm totally here for it. I love Tom Holland Spider-Man. Nathan Joiner Movie says, my theater of Transformers 1 had subtitles for some reason. Oh, interesting. Maybe there was someone hard of hearing in the theater and they requested it. Oh, although I don't think you can do that. I don't know. That's interesting. I've never heard of that before. Collector Movie Man says, yeah, the Steelbook is completely sold out. You can't even get it. The only way to get it is buying it by a third party. And you know they charge an arm and a leg for that Inside Out 2 Steelbook. Nathan's Red Movie says, what is the most relatable movie of all time to you? Things that come to mind for me are Inside Out movies and Good Will Hunting. Most relatable movies? One of the most relatable movies for me, because it takes me back to my kind of middle school experience, minus the crazy plot, is Good Boys. Which, by the way, is an underrated comedy from 2019, I want to say, is when that came out. The innocence and just like a lot of the personalities of all three of those boys put together was kind of me in middle school. So I relate to that quite a bit. Like, I don't know if it's like necessarily like relatable is the right word, but Stand By Me, I always get like emotional feelings about my own childhood when I watch Stand By Me. Not that I had a similar experience with what they go through in Stand By Me, but just like the friendship. I think it's the final line of that movie that is so poignant, where it's like he says something along the lines, I'm going to paraphrase here, you never have friends like you do when you're 12. And that's just so true. That's like disturbingly true. And that line always gets to me at the end of Stand By Me. I love that movie. That line always gets to me. So yeah, there's a couple there. Trev's Movie says, I meant that you can get 20th Century Fox films on regular 4K disc and not just Steelbook. Oh, I see what you're saying there. Okay, yeah, 20th Century Fox you can get. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes just came out and you can get that regularly. Okay, so maybe it doesn't have anything to do with Sony taking charge of the physical media. What do I know? I'm just a guy sitting in a spare bedroom in Canada. You know, just spewing out my thoughts. They could be right, could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before, and this could be another one of those times. Nathan Red Movie says, favorite movie of the year thus far. Mine is Alien Romulus. It's not Alien Romulus, unfortunately. I did enjoy Alien Romulus, not to the degree I was hoping to enjoy it, but going back to the first Alien roots of being a horror film. I thought I did that very effectively. I wasn't a big fan of the ending, and some of the horror aspect was a little bit weaker. And when I watched the trailer for Alien Romulus in the theater, like months before the movie came out, it looked gnarly, and it looked like a movie I was gonna have a hard time sitting through. I didn't have any trouble sitting through it, which surprised me. Still a good movie. I liked it, but not as much as I thought I was going to. Like I said, Dune Part 2 or Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Today, I'm thinking Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is my favorite movie of the year so far, but we'll see. Collective Movie Man says, no, Venom comes out in December. No, Venom comes out in October, if I remember correctly. You might be thinking of Craven. Craven comes out in December because the brilliant, execs over at Sony there are convinced that Christmas time, families of all ages will want to rush out to see Craven over and over and over again to ring in the holiday season. That's literally what they said, and that's so dumb. I don't think anyone's gonna be seeing Craven in the holiday season, especially like with Sonic and all that and Mufasa. Yeah, I have here. I'll put it on screen for you. I have here that it says Venom: The Last Dance comes out October 25th. So I was 10 days off, but it does come out October 25th, and Craven is the one that comes out the other time. Let's see here. We got Dark Room Reviews. What's going on, dude? Thanks for joining. He says, hey, Zach, sorry I'm late. You guys never have to apologize for being late. I am the one that's honored and privileged to have you decide to click on this and want to join at all, because you could be doing anything else. I always say this. Your time, I understand, is a gift to receive from you guys, because you could be doing anything else. You could be watching a movie. You could be out with family. You could be out, I don't know, getting a burger, but instead you've decided that you would like to click on this video, join the chat, and join us in fun movie and entertainment discussions. And I thank you so much for coming. So you do not have to say you're late. You're not late. I'm the one who's thankful that you are here. So thank you so much, Dark Room Reviews, for being here and for joining us tonight. We got the Laser saying, I sent you a funny video on Twitter. We don't call it X, Elon. Yeah, we don't call it X. Well, I'm gonna have to check out that video. I don't think I'm going to check it out on the show though. I think I'll wait till after the show. But I look forward to seeing what you've sent me there, Laser. The Laser. Okay, I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at freaking this. Bro quit college to get laid. That is the comment of the night. You're not wrong. That is hilarious. Oh man, bro, college to get laid. That is the comment of the night right there, because it's true. Very true. The Laser. Bro accidentally called emergency. Why is that feature next to the phone button? I've done that before too, man. I've done that. I actually just did that like 2 weeks ago. So I relate, man. I totally relate to that. Nathan Dreaded Movies says Joker 2 has a budget of $200 million. Do you think it'll bomb or succeed like the first Joker? Yeah, $200 million. I remember talking about this on the show a while back. That type of budget I think is a mistake, because the first Joker, it made $1 billion. I don't think Joker 2 is gonna make I do think it'll be successful. To answer your question, I do think Joker 2 will be successful if it's good. I think this movie could cap out at like 600 million, 700 million, which is probably 600 million is probably somewhat where it needs to come around to break even. With the getting the budget back as well as the marketing, I could see it going as high as maybe 800. But the thing with Joker making $1 billion and then going into Joker 2 is that movie made $1 billion, but not everyone who saw Joker liked it. In fact, a lot of people did not like it and very strongly disliked it. So those people may not be coming back to Joker 2. And you've got the musical aspect in there, which, is kind of unclear how they're going to use it. Some people are, that automatically right there kind of turns them off. They're turning it into a musical. Some people right there and then are not going to go see the movie for that reason. I think it'll be successful, but not as successful as the first one. Frankie Mega World says, I'm going to see Venom 3. Wish me luck. One last ride. Well, have fun, man. I hope it's good. I hope it's good, man. I hope it's great. Jay Pylon says, what's good, people? Thumbs up. What's going on, Jay? Thanks for joining, man. Beloved channel member. Always a privilege and appreciate you having here and all your support, man. Thank you so much. Nathan Johnny Movies says, Agatha was cringe. Do you agree? I am going to tell my wife the dog is barking too close to my door. Rory is barking too close to the door. Because I'm sure you guys can hear that barking. It's probably getting picked up. Yeah, no, I don't think it was cringe. I thought the only part of Agatha that I thought was a little bit, you don't need this, was the Catherine Hahn walking out nude scene. I can see what they were thinking. Like, you know, how oh, she's stripped of her, because Catherine Hahn talked about this in an interview recently where she said that was her idea. She was stripped of her powers, so having her bare butt naked was kind of a way to show how she is totally vulnerable and has lost everything and whatever. And I thought it was a cool transition of having her break out by ripping off the clothes. You didn't need to show the nudity though. On Disney Plus with the Marvel, the audience that, you know, has like kids, it's kind of expected to be family friendly. That was the only part where the humor, I felt it didn't hit for me, and that part kind of came across a little bit cringy. Maybe not cringy, but just like unnecessary is the word I would use. That part came across a little unnecessary. Other than that, I didn't think there was much. When it started off, I thought it was going to be cringy because Catherine Hahn was kind of playing this like over the top kind of acting performance. But when you find out it's a parody of like the way that they do it, how it's part of a show, it made sense after that, and the cringe kind of washed over me. But for the most part, I did not find it as cringy. The Laser, Agatha all along has a higher Rotten Tomatoes score than Deadpool and Wolverine. Well, that's the thing that Disney Plus does that is very deceitful, by the way. Very deceitful. They've done this with every single one of their MCU shows. I don't know if they do it with Star Wars as often, but they do it with every one of their MCU shows. They give the critics like the first 3 or 4 episodes, and that's what the Rotten Tomatoes score is based off of on the show. That's why if you look, I'm going to pull this up right now. If you look, Secret Invasion on Rotten Tomatoes has a positive score. Even though that that series overall is very much despised almost universally by all MCU fans, because the first episodes, I think they got maybe the first 4 episodes or so, because that was given out to the critics and they based their scores off that. They always say, oh, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. It went down. It went down since the full series came out. Now it's rotten. Now it's at 52%. Okay, last time I checked it, like a year or so ago when it came out, it was in like the 60s. It's gone down to 52. So I take that back. Since the full series came out, people have revived their reviews. So it's rotten. It's rotten. But it is what Disney Plus does. They give, like Agatha, for example, the critics only have the first 4 episodes of the series. That's all they've been allowed to watch, and that's what they're reviewing it off of. And so for that reason, when you look here, Agatha has an 80%. But that's based off of what they've watched in the first 4 episodes. Because the show could go to crap. It's got 4 episodes after what they've watched. The later half of it could be horrible. So we could see the score go down, I assume. But that is something that Disney does, and they've been doing it ever since the MCU show started, that I think is very deceitful. Is that Rotten Tomatoes score is not based off of the entire series. At least not initially. Nathan Johnny Movie says, best action sequence of the year. I loved all the action sequence in Bad Boys 4. Yeah, the Reggie sequence in Bad Boys 4, that's hard to beat. But for me, it's got to be Bye Bye Bye. That Bye 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 scene opening sequence for Deadpool and Wolverine. Followed up, same movie. The car fight with inside the Honda with Wolverine and Deadpool. I loved that fight. That was so good. But yeah, that opening sequence of Deadpool taking down the TVA to Bye 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 by NSYNC, that's my favorite action sequence of the entire year. Nathan Johnny Movies says, Everyone in my family liked Trap but me. If you have seen it, what do you think about it? I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. I want to see it. I don't know if it's out yet. I should rent it if it's out, but I haven't seen it yet. I just realized that my screen behind me is turned off. But that's whatever. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my to-watch list for sure. Aaron Austin, what's going on? Austin, it's been a minute, my friend. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here, saying hey, everyone. See you over on your channel, still killing it, man. I know you've been going through some things and you're taking a little bit of a hiatus, but it's good to see you on there, and it's good to see you here. Thank you so much, Austin, for joining us. My buddy Zach Attack Reviews, beloved channel member as well. What's going on, dude? Hey, Zachy. That's what you're saying. Hope you're having a great stream. It's going better than last week, my friend. I can tell you that much. And yeah, I'm having a good stream. Hope everyone's having a fun time as well. Because you guys came to play. This is great. There's tons more to still go through. Jay Paulon says, I need a Perfect Strangers reboot. I also need a reboot. Is that the Johnny Knoxville show that was on Disney Plus? I think that show got canceled, right? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Because that's what I'm thinking of when I don't know any other reboots that you might be talking about. But I didn't like that show very much. Oh nope, it's a different show. What was I thinking of? What's that Johnny Knoxville show what was that called? It's not the same one, is it? No. No, this is different. Oh, it's Keegan Michael Key reboot season 1. Oh, okay. I've never seen this. I've never seen this show. I've never heard of this show. I don't know why, but I've never heard of this show. Interesting. What was that Johnny Knoxville one? Why can't I remember what that was called? That was on Disney Plus. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I don't know what that is, but interesting. I'll have to check that out because I like Keegan Michael Key and all that. So I'll have to check that show out. Trev's Movie says, did you know the studios are trying to make Gladiator 2 and Wicked a thing like Barbenheimer? Yeah, they're calling it Glicked. Glicked? Stop making Glick happen. That's not gonna happen. Trev's Movies. Remember when they tried to do Saw Patrol? Yeah, that's the thing that these studios never really understood. They didn't make Barbenheimer happen. Social media did. The meme culture did. And that's something that happened organically that you can't replicate. You can't make that happen again. It's not something that you can make happen. It's something that people made happen on social media. And it was a moment that that happened at the right time. It's not something that you can artificially create. And yeah, it happens organically. It happens. You can't just make it like you were saying here. They tried to do Saw Patrol. The thing with Barbie and Oppenheimer that kind of worked was it was like Barbie seemed like this vibrant, colorful movie, and Oppenheimer was this kind of depressing take on the Hiroshima, or I totally said that word wrong, but the bomb and the devastation of all that. And because the movies were so polar opposite, there was kind of this fun little thing that the internet came up with where it's like, okay, let's have the fun and then let's have the depression, or let's have the depression and then go have the fun. That was the appeal of Barbenheimer. Saw Patrol, the audiences don't connect there. There's no one who wanted to go watch Saw who was then gonna go watch Saw Patrol or go watch Paw Patrol. Likewise, no one's bringing their kids to Paw Patrol and then rushing them to the next theater to watch Saw. The Barbie and Oppenheimer audiences, there was a crossover there. There was likewise, and people that were interested in both movies, to the point that audiences would go from one theater to the other, and it became this cultural event. You weren't ever going to get that with Saw Patrol, and you're not going to get that with Gladiator 2 and Wicked, because even those audiences are kind of segregated. You don't like the Gladiator 2 audience and the Wicked audience. For the most part, there's no overlap for them there. So I can tell you right now, my wife has already expressed she is excited to go watch Wicked. She's very excited to check this movie out with me, but she has no interest in going to see Gladiator 2. Like, absolutely no interest. So yeah, Barbenheimer, it's a special thing that studios are going to try and fail, rightfully so, to recreate, that they never will. People saying hey to each other in the chat. Always love seeing that. Nathan Jenner Movie says, unfortunately, I didn't like season 6, but my brother thinks it's the best season yet. Are you talking about Cobra Kai? It's definitely not the best season yet, that's for sure. And it's not over yet. We still have 2 more parts to go. But yeah, no, Cobra Kai season 6 is in my opinion, their weakest season so far, which is it bums me out that they might go out on a bummer note. If their last season is their least successful season, or the one that I like the least, that's gonna bum me out a little bit, because season 5 I'd put season 5 probably above season 4. I'd have to go back and rewatch them again to see exactly where I would fall on that, but yeah, season 6 for me so far, not the best for sure. Jay Pellon says, I have never seen none of those Peele movies. You definitely should. You should definitely check them out, man. All 3 of them. I recommend all 3 of them. Well, I don't think I recommended Nope. I've kind of turned around on that. I would recommend Nope. I think it has a pretty awesome second part of the film. Jay Pellon says, I'm a Tyler Perry fan, though. Fair enough. Zach Attack says, I talk to myself while walking around on the street. That's how you keep people away. Very clever. Very smart. The Laser says, we got 86 months till Avatar 5. Wow, is that all? That's great. When you put it in into that perspective, 86 months, it's like, wow, that actually doesn't seem that far away, but it is. That's a lot of months, Zach. That's a lot of months. The Laser said Ferngully is Avatar. Oh, yes, the first Avatar came out in 2009. That is correct. The Ace Avenue also said he's talking about Avatar. Will the Avatar come to Fortnite? I don't know, but Fuse, hey, well, how's it going? Thank you for joining us, Fuse. Great to see you in here. The Ace Avenue says, a lot of people think Cameron just ripped off Ferngully for the idea of Avatar. Yeah, that's a big thing. Ferngully, Dances with Wolves, all that kind of stuff they say is a ripoff, which is fair. It's fair. I'm not going to debate that for sure. Let's see here. We got Kenny Sparks saying oh, whoops. Did a jump there. Kenny Sparks is saying, just finished rewatching The Batman last night. Still great. Yeah, I love it. And Kenny Sparks says, gotta watch Penguin episode 1 tonight. I'm excited, man. I don't know if you can plan on doing a video or not about that, but I'm excited to hear your thoughts on the Penguin episode 1, dude. Because, look, if the Penguin episode 1 is just a precursor to how good this series or this season, I don't know if they're planning on doing a season 2 or not, but if it's a precursor to what we can expect for the rest of the season, how good it's going to be, I think I might end up liking the Penguin more than the Batman. I think it's very possible that the Penguin could be better than the Batman. And as it stands right now, the Batman is like my second favorite Well, I have to give it a rewatch. It might be my favorite Batman movie. And I know, The Dark Knight is there. I'm not forgetting about The Dark Knight. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Horton Hears a Who, Zach Milne. I know what I said. I do think the Batman's probably my favorite Batman movie because it focuses the most on Batman. Whereas Dark Knight has a fantastic Jared Leto. I don't know why I'm getting into this now, but not Jared Leto. Oh my gosh, cut my tongue out. I deserve to be whipped for saying that. Not Jared Leto. Heath Ledger. Oh my gosh, no one clip that out. I will get canceled. The Dark Knight has a fantastic Heath Ledger performance as the Joker, but Batman movies always focused on the villain more than Batman before the Batman came around. So for that reason, I think the Batman might be my favorite. All this to say, I think the Penguin is fantastic. If it's gonna keep going, it's gonna be an awesome show, and it could rival the Batman, in my opinion. Trez Movie says, I'm going to try and get a Joker suit for my review. I got the Beetlejuice suit for my review for Beetlejuice. I saw that. That was very classy, my friend. And I called myself Trevor Juice. I love that. Yeah, if you can do it, do it. That's awesome, man. Trez Movie says, it took us 45 minutes to do the full makeup. I believe it. It looked great. That's awesome, man. And commitment. Wow, commitment. Nathan Jenner Movie says, will you watch Megalopolis? I feel kind of bad that Francis Ford Coppola worked on this film for 40 freaking years and it got a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, it's not getting good word of mouth so far. I want to, I can't. My theater didn't take it. Maybe that's a good thing because now I don't have to watch it. It's not sounding very great, but I was curious. I wanted to check it out. So, oh well, we'll see. The Ace Avenue says, who's your favorite character in Cobra Kai? If we're going, like, you know, the legacy character, Johnny. And I think William Zabka kind of carries the show. Although Chosen I can't remember who the actor who plays Chosen is, but Chosen, coming back from Karate Kid Part 2, he had some really great moments, especially last season. Chosen was kind of an MVP last season for me, but Johnny's kind of my favorite. As far as the new cast, I like Robbie. Robbie is, in my opinion, the heart. Some would argue, and rightfully so, you could argue Miguel. But for me, I think Robbie's kind of the heart of the show for me. And I think he has the most satisfying arc for me. I love where he started in season 1, kind of this rebellious kid on the wrong path. Then, all the drama and stuff with Daniel and Johnny and all that stuff. I like where they've got him now with Miyagi-Do. I like how he's turned out. So he's been my favorite character, new character to watch his arc to this point. So Robbie's my favorite. Dice Avenue says Spider-Man pays the bills for Holland. I mean, with the paychecks that he gets from those movies from Marvel, yeah, they pay the bills all right. Nathan Van Movies says innocent is a somewhat interesting way to describe the boys in Good Boys. Innocent, what I mean by innocent is how they're very clueless to the sexual stuff in the movie. That was very much like in middle school, people were telling sexual jokes and remarks left and right and not over my head all the time. That's what I kind of mean by innocent. The movie itself is not innocent. The movie itself is a raunchy fest. But yeah, that's what I meant. Collective Movement says you have good, Zach. Thank you very much. Frankie Mega World says I'm 30 minutes into Venom 3, and you're in the chat. That can't be a good sign. That can't be a good sign if you're not paying full 100% attention to Venom 3. By the way, thank you for including me in Venom 3. I hope you're not annoying people on your phone. I hope you're not being that guy. But it's great to see you back in here, so I appreciate that. How's Venom 3 going so far? No spoilers. Don't give us any spoilers. We still have like a month until we can see it. The Laser. How has 2024 been? This year has gone by so fast. I can't believe we are in the Halloween season. Well, I mean, as mentioned on the channel many times, 2024 for me has been absolutely nuts. It's been crazy. To recap my year, at the beginning of the year, I lost my job. I got a new job. And then we bought a house, and we moved into a house. So moved out of a basement suite into a house. That was crazy. And now my wife is pregnant. We're gonna have a kid. And I also got a new job. So it's been crazy. 2024 has been a roller coaster of a year for me so far. Very memorable. Definitely a lot of changes. So yeah, 2024 has been good, but also crazy. Just a roller coaster ride. Frankie Mega World said, "Did you hear about the rumor about the butter?" No idea what you're talking about. The Ace Avenue says, "A few weeks ago, I did an animated soundtrack tournament. The people voted for Lion King as the best soundtrack. What animated soundtrack do you think is the best?" Lion King is hard to beat. Lion King has a great one. I love the music in Tarzan. Phil Collins, is that his name? Yeah, Phil Collins. I love the music in Tarzan. Lion King though, like it's definitely a Disney movie, right? Like you got Aladdin in there. Beauty and the Beast. I like a lot of songs in Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if I'd say they're the greatest of all time. Yeah, Aladdin comes to mind. Lion King for sure comes to mind. Like I said, Tarzan. Little Mermaid has a pretty good soundtrack. Well, yeah, no, you got Under the Sea. You've got Part of Your World. Kiss the Girl. Yeah, there's a lot of great songs in The Little Mermaid. So definitely up there as well. I think I would agree. I think I'd go Lion King. If I had to think off the top of my head, I think I would go Lion King, because you got The Circle of Life, Just Can't Wait to Be King, Be Prepared, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Like, it's just on and on and on and on. Classic, memorable songs. Hakuna Matata, come on. Lion King is the GOAT for sure when it comes to that. The Laser, don't be so hard on yourself. I'm not gonna put that up on the stream. Well, it's already up on the stream technically, but I'm not gonna. Come on, man. We all been there. It'll happen. Frankie Mega World says, "Well, I definitely won't spread it." Are you talking about Venom 3? You won't spread the spoilers, I'm assuming you mean. Thank you very much. Ben Thompson, what's going on, Ben Thompson? Thank you for joining us. I think you're new to the chat. I don't recognize you, so it's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. It says, "Hey Zach, my favorite movie My favorite movie always knows how to make me laughing. Hey, Zach, my favorite movie. Oh, hey, Zach, my favorite movie YouTube. Are you saying that I'm your favorite movie YouTuber always knows how to keep me laughing? Are you saying that I'm your favorite YouTuber? Really? Oh, that's so nice. I'm just, you know what? Don't even try to correct yourself in the chat. I'll keep that. Hey, Zach, my favorite movie YouTuber. I'll keep that. You don't need to correct yourself. I understand. Thank you very much. That is a very, very, very kind thing to say. I appreciate that so much, dude. And I'm honored to have you here. Luke Ponto says, Zach, my guy, hope you're well, bud. Well, I hope you're well as well, Luke. I'm definitely, you know, when life starts to settle down a little bit, which is starting to settle down a little bit, I'm definitely planning on, because you send me links very graciously to jump on to your live stream whenever you're live. I do plan on jumping on and catching up with you. I do. So I appreciate that, man. And I appreciate you being here, dude. Hope you're doing well. Ben Thompson goes on to say, do you think the Moana remake is unnecessary considering we are getting Moana 2? I think the Moana remake is unnecessary. Now, you could make the argument every single remake and every single movie ever made is unnecessary. You don't need it. Only if it turns out good that we accept it. But when you think of, you know, Moana, I guess by the time the remake comes out, it will be 10 years old. But to me, it's like, I don't know. To me, it's like the nostalgia for those who grew up with Moana, because Moana only came out in what, 2016? So the nostalgia for people who grew up with Moana hasn't really even sunk in yet. I mean, I guess if you watched Moana when you were like 5, I guess by the time the remake comes out, you'll be 15. So I guess now, I guess there's time that has passed in that regard, but now you've got Moana 2 coming up, so that pushes it even further to the point where we'll have Moana 2 in 2024, and then what, 2 years later, we're going to have a live-action Moana remaking the first film? Yeah, I don't understand the decision behind it. I don't understand the appeal. Like, for me, Moana is a beautiful animated film. I'm very curious to see how it's going to translate into live action. With the water movements and everything that they do in that movie, the gorgeous artists that made that movie. The artists themselves are gorgeous, is what I'm saying. The artists that made the gorgeous artwork for that movie in the animation style, I wonder how that's going to translate into live action. But hey, you know what? We could be sitting here 2 years from now being like, you know what? Moana remake that Dwayne Johnson did, the live action remake, better than the original. It's very possible. They could do it. It's all just potential at this point. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. It's probably going to be more along the lines of, that was, I wonder if it'll feel the same way as we felt with Lion King 2019. It'll be a big hit, and then no one will talk about it ever again. Luke Ponto says, if you need a few recommendations for movies this year, I got Hitman, Trap, Speak No Evil, Snack Shack, never heard of that one, and Knox Goes Away. Well, there's 2 movies right there that I haven't heard of. I almost saw Speak No Evil, but it just slipped me by. I almost saw it last night, but it just didn't work out. Trap, I missed because I didn't see anything in August, but I'm definitely planning on watching that. And Hitman is on Netflix now in Canada, so I can watch that, so I will watch that pretty soon. But thank you for the recommendations, Luke. Those are all your recommendations. I always take to heart because you're like a movie encyclopedia. The stuff you've seen is insane. You've seen almost every movie on the planet. So and you have a lot of deep cuts. So I take your recommendations very seriously. Nathan Jordan Movie says the Honda Odyssey F's hard. Too bad you don't needle dig. yeah. Oh man, so many great lines in Deadpool 2. Ben Thompson said you see the awful Megamind 2. No, I did not see it because of that reason. I heard it was awful, and it looked like a backdoor pilot to an awful Megamind TV series, which apparently it was. I was recently informed. So there you go. Ben Thompson says, guess my favorite movie. I'm going to say, I'm going to go outside the box and say Abigail. Because I know some people love Abigail. I love Abigail. The Laser, did you hear the update on Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele don't see each other anymore, which means Ducky and Bunny won't be in Toy Story 5. With Woody being back and Bo gone, are they trying to erase Toy Story 4? No. So two things I'll address there. First of all, let's address the whole thing about Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele don't see each other much anymore. Does that mean Ducky and Bunny won't be in Toy Story 5? No, that doesn't mean that they won't be in Toy Story 5. Just because they don't see each other anymore, which, I mean, you think of the industry, Jordan Peele's off directing, working on stuff. Keegan-Michael Key's still acting. They're not in projects together. Of course, they probably don't see each other very often. That doesn't necessarily mean they're not friends or they don't like each other anymore. But yeah, they don't see each other. That also doesn't mean that, you know, Toy Story 5, they won't get in the booth again because they're working on the same project. Maybe they haven't been contacted yet for Toy Story 5. Who knows? Also, another thing with that is Ducky and Bunny can still be in Toy Story 5 because it's all sound work. You just go into a sound booth, and a lot of the times, even when you are playing off of another character in the sound or in the movie that you're voicing, you aren't always in the same room with that person. I mean, most times you do they do the sound recording on their own. Like there's number of examples where people who you know, do voice work on the same movie, they never even met their fellow cast members until like the premiere or something, because they don't work together in the booth. So they could still bring Ducky and Bunny in Toy Story 5, have Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele record their lines separately or together, who knows, but they could still be in it. As far as do I think they're erasing Toy Story 4, with Woody being back, I think there's a possibility that this takes place in between Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4. It could be a prequel. I don't want that. Just to be clear, if you're going to do a Toy Story 5, move the story forward. I don't want to see an in-between story. But that is a theory I have of how do you get Woody back with the group and not take away that ending of him going on his own at Toy Story 4. You do a prequel in between the two movies. I don't want that. That's just a theory. So be optimistic, my friend. It's possible. It could still happen that you get Bunny and Ducky. The Laser says, are you ready to watch Megalopolis? It's ready to be called Megaslopolis and will become Megaflopolis. Yeah, Megaflopolis is definitely looking like the direction it's going to be going, which is unfortunate. Like someone was mentioning earlier, this is Francis Ford Coppola's like passion project. He's been working on it for years, and I feel bad for the guy. I really do, but yeah, unfortunately, and he put his own money into it. But the fact that you had to pay Lionsgate to distribute it for you, they didn't pay you to distribute it, you had to pay them to take it, that wasn't a good sign to begin with. Ben Thompson says, I can't wait to see Wicked. Honestly, the trailers have been playing in the theater so often and they're so long that I'm just like, you know what, I feel like I've seen the movie. But I'm excited to see it too. Every time it pops up, I don't know why, I always forget that Ariana Grande's in it. Every time it pops up, I'm like, oh yeah, Ariana Grande's gonna be in this. Ben Thompson says, apparently trying to make John Wick 5. Apparently they're trying to make John Wick 5. What are your thoughts? Yep, I kind of talked about this earlier in the show. I'm worried about it. It feels like a money-making decision, not a storytelling decision. John Wick Chapter 4 clearly felt like it was supposed to be the end of the story of John Wick, and for that franchise, it made the most money of the entire franchise up until that point. So, of course, they probably want to do John Wick 5 because all the box office has been doing is increasing, going up and up and up. And that's what the studio's seeing. So, so the trajectory is showing that a John Wick 5 will make more money than John Wick 4. But I like the ending of John Wick 4. I think it's perfect. I think it's a great conclusion. I'm more interested in seeing like the ballerina spinoff than I am in a John Wick 5 at this point, to be honest. Luke Poncho says, about to rewatch The Crow, the original, to clarify before anyone jumps down my throat. I've never seen either or. I've never seen the original, and I didn't watch that remake. So, yeah. Trez Movie says, what said was I work at a movie theater and I can't. Oh, sorry. What I said was I work at a movie theater and they put my in full Beetlejuice makeup and oh, the movie theater put you in full Beetlejuice makeup. I see. Oh, here we go. What I said was I work at a movie theater and they put me in full Beetlejuice makeup to promote the movie at the theater. I made so many people happy. That's awesome, dude. That's really awesome. The Marvels says, just sub. Well, thank you so much, The Marvels. Welcome to the channel. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. The Marvel also says, The Dark Knight's my Batman. I like Christian Bale in the role. I do. I never connected with his Batman, though. I never resonated. Like, Robert Pattinson is my favorite Batman. I love that they did the detective stuff with Robert Pattinson. I kind of like that he's he's a recluse, and the way that Robert Pattinson plays that part of Bruce Wayne, I really like. I'm very excited to see him grow and where he goes as the Batman. But for me at this moment, I think I would go. I think I would go Robert Pattinson, Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck. Yeah, I think that's how I would go for my Batmans. Laser says, Lego Batman movie, my favorite Batman because it makes Batman very human. I love the Lego Batman movie. If we're including him, it goes Robert. Actually, it might go Lego Batman, Robert Pattinson, because I love that movie. I love the Lego Batman, and I thought Will Arnett was fantastic in it. Let's see here. We got the Marvel saying, congratulations on 2.8 thousand subs. Did we hit 2. Do you mean 2.78? What happened? Did we hit 2.78? Wow, thank you. So wow, we gained like 14 subscribers tonight. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for joining our channel. Thank you guys so much for all of the support. 2.78. All right, let's go. Thank you guys so much. And hey, like I always say, we're a partnership. I make the videos, but that doesn't mean anything if you guys aren't watching, supporting, and subscribing and liking. And so we are a team in this. This is our channel. I always like to say that. So thank you guys so much for all that you're doing for our channel. It's wow, that's amazing. Thank you guys so much. And to everyone who's subscribed tonight, everyone who's new, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. Trev's Movie says, I'm curious, did you see my Ryan's World movie review? If so, thoughts. I need thoughts. Sorry, I haven't yet. Zach Milne Talks Movie fan says hi. Well, hello, Zach Milne Talks Movies fan. That's crazy. Thank you for that. That's awesome. Good to see you in here. Thank you for joining us. Frankie Megaworld saying Venom 3 is pretty good so far. The reason why I went to my phone is because they paused the movie. It's playing again, so I can't chat right now. All right, well, good to hear it's pretty good so far. Enjoy the rest of the movie, man. Lace Avenue says the Prince of Egypt is an underrated soundtrack. Oh, dude, Prince of Egypt is fantastic. That's a really good soundtrack. I don't know if I'd put it as memorable over The Lion King, but it's definitely a good soundtrack. Definitely up there. Oh, whoops, you did jump there. Nathan Jenner Movie says my favorite musical songs come from The Greatest Showman, which I love. I love the soundtrack for The Greatest Showman more than I love the actual movie of The Greatest Showman. To be honest with you, this The Greatest Show. Why can't I love Rewrite the Stars, that Zendaya and Zac Efron sing. What's that song they sing, Hugh Jackman and Zac Efron in the bar? Oh, it's so good. I can't remember what it's called. And then of course you got the Showstopper with oh, what's that song called that the lady sings? I'm blanking on the entire soundtrack of The Greatest Showman. Shows how much of a fan I am. But yeah, I liked it. The 8th Avenue says he won't spread. It was the butter dad. Oh my gosh. Is that what that meant? Did you hear about the butter? I won't spread it. Is that what you meant? Laser, you're better than that. Come on, man. You're better than that. The Laser says, I guess you understand what Hakuna Matata's mean. Yes, I do. Ben Thompson says, I've been watching for 2 weeks. What you doing at... I've been watching for 2 weeks. What you're doing at 3K. Like what will I do for the channel when we hit 3,000 subscribers? We'll have a celebration. We'll have a live stream celebration. Probably get some people on here. We're getting close. We've got, like I said, 2,780. So wow, we need like 16 more and we get to 2,800, and then it's just 200 more and then we hit 3,000. So we're approaching it. You guys are killing it. You guys are approaching it. Thank you guys so much for that. And yeah, it's gonna be very exciting when we hit that 3K. Michael 11591 says, are you looking forward to the film Saturday night? Yes, this is something that has creeped up on my radar, but it sounds awesome. The Saturday Night Live start, it's got some actors playing some classic members of the cast. I think it looks great, so I'm really looking forward to it. Ben Thompson says, I love Abigail, but my favorite movie is Mission Impossible 6 and Mission Impossible 7. Well, that was last year, right? That's not this year. I mean, that's awesome. I loved Mission Impossible Fallout, and I loved Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. But that's from last year. But that's awesome, man. I love those movies too. Kicksta, what's going on, Kicksta? Thanks for joining. There's a lot of people in the chat tonight, so thank you guys so much for coming here and hanging out with me and with us. Kicksta says, how much do you think the MJ biopic will make next year? I think it's a sleeper $1 billion hit. I hesitate to say $1 billion hit because yes, Michael Jackson is arguably the biggest musician known on the planet of all time, arguably pop star for sure. However, he's not without his controversies. Now, he's not here to defend himself, so I don't get into the controversies. You know, it's kind of like the dude passed away. They've had tons of trials and all that kind of stuff, so I'm not going to retread and bring that all up. But there is a lot of people out there who you know, aren't the biggest fans of Michael Jackson personally in his personal life and some of the decisions they believe he's made or he's accused of. So I do think you're going to have a little bit of a split there with the audience because the Michael Jackson biopic also, there's something very interesting because the angle is what I'm most interested in. The angle in which they attack this movie, because are you just going to ignore all that in Michael's life that he went through near the end of his fame in life, is all the controversy and stuff? Are you going to focus on strictly his up and coming in maybe like his family and the Jackson 5 and into being the biggest pop star on the planet? Is that the story that they're going to tell and kind of end it there with him being the biggest pop star? Maybe you end it where he did the moonwalk for the first time. I don't know. Or do you get into that? Do you do the full story? Because it's also Michael Jackson's family is heavily involved. Obviously, I believe his nephew is playing him in the movie. So I think the Michael Jackson biopic is going to be a big hit. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a big hit. $1 billion hit, though, is a little bit hard for me to digest just because there is going to be a section of an audience that is honestly probably going to protest the movie on Twitter. You'll see it. Just wait. You'll see it. So we'll have to wait and see, but I do think it'll be a big hit. I do think it'll make money for sure. I'll be seeing it. Zach Milne Talks Movies fan, that feels so crazy to say. What an honor. Thank you so much for that username, man. That is a real honor. I've never experienced that. Thank you so much. Zach, who made you want to do YouTube and why? It's a pretty generic story, I guess. Well, maybe not generic, but like obviously I grew up loving movies like everyone on YouTube who talks movies does. I always wanted to have an outlet to talk about movies, and of course I grew up, yeah, I guess you could say I grew up watching like Chris Stuckman, Jeremy Johns, at the time the Schmoes Know, Collider Movie Talk, Black Nerd Comedy was a big guy I watched. Yeah, just I grew up watching people on the internet who talked about movies, and that was inspiring, and I always wanted to do that. And I had a lot of people in my life, because I talked, like the way I talk movies on this live stream is just how I talk movies with my friends and in life constantly, to the point that some people can't converse with me because I usually default to movie talk. And not everyone is on the same playing field or likes that as much as me. So I had a lot of friends and I had a lot of family that were just like, you should do it. Like you should do a YouTube channel. Because I would post my little like thoughts on Facebook and write little reviews and stuff like that for friends and family. But they were always like, you should just do a YouTube channel. Like you have a lot more to say. You want to talk movies with people. You should start a YouTube channel. And I started my YouTube channel because friends of mine who were my outlet to talking about movies. Technically, I started my channel before they moved away, but they were in the process of planning on moving away, and then eventually they did move away. So this became kind of my only outlet to talk about movies because I didn't really have anyone else in my life to talk about movies with. So I just was like, you know what? People did it on YouTube. That's what I like to watch on YouTube, so I'll give it a shot. And you know what? It's been like 5.5 years now. We're come January, so actually, pretty quickly, we're approaching 6 years of the channel. We're approaching 6 years of us doing this channel, and I'm having just as much fun with it, if not more fun with it, than I did when I first started. So yeah, it's been fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Whether you've been here for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, the whole 5 years, thank you guys so much for being here and for supporting. The Laser says, I don't think it'll be a prequel because Bonnie looks older in the concept art. Maybe the carnival is by Barney's house. By the end of the movie, the toys, Rex, Slinky, Jesse, Buzz become lost toys. Would end the Toys story, but would end Toy Story for good. That's not bad, actually. That's not a bad theory. I didn't really look at Bonnie in the concept art, so you're probably right. Maybe she is older. So yeah, maybe. But that's awesome. That's awesome. I actually like that theory quite a bit. Zach Milne Talks Movies fan says my favorite DC movie is Dark Knight, The Batman, and Blue Beetle. Yeah, Blue Beetle was a nice little movie. I didn't love it as much as a lot of people did, but it was a nice little movie. Yeah, The Batman is up there for sure. The Dark Knight is up there. I love the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad is honestly probably one of my James Gunn's, to be honest. To be specific. Is probably one of my favorite DC movies, and that first Wonder Woman is pretty good. Yeah, and I like Batman '89, classic. Zach Milne Talks Movies fan says agreed. Zach, the best Batman is Pattinson. Yep, he's my favorite at the moment. Jay Palon says coming up. Oh, whoops. Did a jump there. Jay Palon says coming up on 3K. Yeah, we're approaching it. We are getting there, guys, and it's all because of you. So thank you guys so much. We're also approaching almost 3 hours going live on this stream, so this has been great, guys. Thank you so much for keeping me here for so long. Jason Entertainment, what's going on, Jason? Thanks for joining, man. Great to see you in here. Says, hey Zach, how you doing, man? Congratulations for being a future dad. Wish you all the best in your new journey. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much for the congratulations, the kind words. I really do appreciate it. The Laser says, oh yeah, I started to watch you 1 year ago. I remember seeing your comment on my video and I saw your channel and I loved it. Well, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being here for 1 year. It's been an honor and it's been a privilege, Laser. You've been a very crucial and supportive part of the community over here. I love seeing you in the chat. You're always in the chat. You're very big supportive. So thank you so much, Laser. And 1 year, that's crazy. Jay Pylon says, I need to see Ryan World movie so desperately bad. He also says that he liked the Minecraft video that Laser made. Awesome. Zach Milne Talks Movie says, do you mean Ryan World as the YouTube? Oh, is that kid who does Ryan World? Is that the kid who does the unboxing? I now just realized I have no idea what Ryan World is. I have no idea what this is. Zach Milne Talks Movies fan says, I think The Dark Knight's the better movie but I think The Batman is the better Batman movie. That's a really good way of putting it. The Dark Knight has just been classic for so long. Like, it's hard to beat it. It's hard to say anything's better than The Dark Knight, because it is one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, and it's been a lot of people's favorite and hailed as the best comic book movie of all time for almost 2 decades now. But I don't know. I gotta watch them again. I've only seen The Batman a couple times. I've seen The Dark Knight a lot more than that. I gotta watch it again, but I love The Batman. I really do. The Laser says, sorry, little bro. No worries. The Ace Avenue says, going to get some dinner. Have a good night, Zach. Great stream. Thank you so much, Ace, as always, for all the support and for being a member and for being contributing to the chat. And the show was made better, my friend, because you were a part of it, and I appreciate you as always, my friend. And thank you so much for shouting me out on your stream and getting us some new members of the community. It's fantastic, and I love seeing it. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Michael11591 says, have you seen Transformers 1? I have. I actually have a review for it on the channel, Michael, so you can check that out. I liked it quite a bit. The Ace Avenue says, peace out, chat. Amazing922, welcome, Amazing922. Thank you for joining us. Saying hi. Thor is my favorite superhero. Mine is Spider-Man. In case it wasn't entirely clear, mine is Spider-Man. Thank you for. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, so thank you very much for being here. It's an honor and privilege. Kicksta says they are apparently going to tackle some of the MJ controversies, but they definitely intend to take the innocent angle and will be mainly focused on the music. Yeah. I see. Even taking the innocent angle, that's gonna tick some people off. It just is. Honestly, I'm more focused on them focusing on the music and the up and rising of the star and the fame. That's what I would rather. I don't really care about getting into the controversies and doing all that. But yeah, I'm looking forward. I think the Michael Jackson biopic is going to be awesome. I really do. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. The Laser says, oh yeah, and Toy Story 5 won't be a prequel because we see that Jesse still has Woody's badge and Forky is here. Maybe we get a flashback of someone, but if they did a prequel, that would be misleading. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I probably am wrong. But in Toy Story 4, when Forky comes to life, there's a montage of time, right, where Forky is around. So they could tell a story during that, like in between that montage. I don't know. You're probably right. My theory is probably blown up. It's probably not a prequel. So how does Woody get back? Why does Woody get back? They're gonna those are answers I'm very curious about. Amazing 922 says your hair's like Harry Styles, but now Zach Styles. Well, thank you very much, because Harry Styles has some great hair, so I appreciate that. I'll take that as a very, very solid compliment. Milo fan saying hi. I'm 30 like. Well, thank you for joining us, Milo fan. All ages are welcome. I'm 25, so it's not much different. So thank you so much for being here, my friend. It's great to see you in the chat. And I don't think I've seen you here before, so it's an honor and privilege to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Jay Pylon says, I'd like to see some depressed toys square off with some new trendy toys and become friends with some 80s collector's toys. Mix up the story. You want to see depressed toys? I don't know if I want to see the toys be depressed. It would be different, though. It would be different. Out of Doom Blazer says, out of Bloom Blazer says, I saw this live and I had no choice but to check it out. Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you for checking us out. Out of Doom Blazer, thank you so much for checking us out and contributing to the chat, and it's an honor and privilege to have you here. Chillmonger, what's going on, my buddy? Chillmonger saying sup Chillmonger, good to see you. I saw you a little bit on Chainsaw Reacts live stream there. I watched a little bit of that before the stream started. Yeah, it was great seeing you on there. I was invited on. I unfortunately, with my work schedule change up, I'm starting the show an hour earlier, so now it kind of conflicts with Chainsaw Reacts' live stream, so I wasn't able to jump on, but would have been cool to jump on with you. Great to see you in here, my friend. The Laser says, oh, thank you, Jay. For checking out the video. Laser says, sorry I didn't see your messages, but thank you. Your kind words mean the world to me. Oh, that's so nice. Jay Palon says, I like The Old Man Season 1 and Season 2 just came out. I don't know what The Old Man is. I'll have to check it out. Michael 11591 says, any new fall shows you are watching? Just Agatha and The Penguin. That's the only shows I've checked out. I want to get back into Only Murders in the Building. I haven't checked out Season 4 or Season 5. It's Season 4, I think. I haven't checked out Season 4 yet of Only Murders in the Building. That's something my wife and I watch together, so we have to, align our schedules. But I definitely want to get back into that. Amount 7544. What's the worst DC movie in your opinion? Mine has to be either Superman 4 or Batman and Robin. Those are very good ones. I think I might have to go with Supergirl. And the reason I go with Supergirl is because I can watch Superman 4 and have like a so bad it's good moment or a good time with it. I can watch Batman and Robin and have a so bad it's good moment with it. Supergirl, I've only tried to watch once, and I could hardly get through it. I thought it was so boring and so horrible. And yeah, I think that's one of the only, if not the only, DC movie I can think of off the top of my head that I actively like turned off, like halfway through. I don't think I finished it. And honestly, a contender for me is going to be Wonder Woman 1984. I think Wonder Woman 1984 was a huge letdown, was a huge step down from the first film, and the writing was just pretty bad. And it's not even so bad it's good. It's just bad and boring, and I don't want to watch it ever again. The Laser says, had a BLT with crispy cheese and buffalo wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. Tomorrow I'm gonna have chicken parmesan and ravioli. And what did you have for dinner? Well, that's awesome, man. That sounds delicious. I had my wife made a great tortellini soup. It was really good because it's kind of rainy and gloomy and kind of stormy outside here. I don't know what it is now. I've been sitting in this room for nearly 3 hours, so I don't have a window. I don't know exactly what it looks like now, but it was just kind of soup weather. So she made a very nice tortellini soup. Excuse me. My wife is a fantastic cook. She's a fantastic chef. I'm a very, very blessed man because I eat good. I eat some really good food because she is a very blessed cook. I am not. Amount 7544 says, I'm sad my wife died last week. I'm so sorry. My condolences. I mean, thank you for being here and for contributing to the chat and for joining us. And it's an honor and privilege to have you here, but I'm very sorry to hear that, man. I'm very sorry, and my condolences to you and your family for sure. Jay Pylon says, movie ticket prices in Oklahoma are low depending on where you go. I usually use my rewards and only pay a few dollars for popcorn and tickets for 2 adults and 3 kids. My cost is around $20. I cut out concession a long time ago, which, you know, concession is where a lot of movie theaters get their money from, what keeps them alive. So you could say I'm killing the movie theater business by not buying concession, but I found that I bought concession and that like jumped my bill up like easily another $20, $20 to $30. And I never finished the popcorn because I'm one of those guys that focuses so much on the movie and what's happening that I forget the motion of eating while I'm watching a movie. So my popcorn always came back full. And I found that I was eventually just kind of wasting it. Occasionally I will get a drink because I do get thirsty during movies, especially if it's a long movie, like 2.5 hours. But when I cut out concession, when I stopped getting popcorn, drink, all that stuff, I just get the ticket. I get into a movie, and I've got like a Cineclub for Cineplex subscription, so my ticket prices go down a bit. So I get into the movies for like $10. Buy the ticket, $10, and then I go watch them. So I don't spend much on movies. And what's really cool about what's happening with our channel and YouTube and stuff, I actually make more off YouTube for the month than I spend on movies. So by going to the movies and then doing a review, I actually make my money back, which has really started to happen over the course of this year, and it's been just unbelievably cool. So thank you everyone who supports and everyone who's made that happen, because my movies basically get paid for by reviewing them on the channel. Which also helps me a lot with going to see movies, because I can tell my wife, hey, I'm gonna go see this movie tonight because it's gonna bring in income. It's gonna bring in some revenue. So that's always pretty cool. Amount 7544 gives me, I think, a like for you. You're giving a like. Thank you very much for liking the video, my friend. Chillmonger says Forky was 1 day old. Okay, so they only covered the course of 1 day. Okay, that's fair. Jay Pylon says, I saw Penguin episode 1 and I liked it so far. Really good stuff. Shogun was epic. I didn't get around to watching Shogun. I heard someone in my personal life told me they don't think I would like the show, so I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. But yeah, Penguin episode 1, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. The Laser says, Toy Story 6 sounds crazy. Imagine if Toy Story 3 was the halfway point and that was going to be the end. If Disney never bought Pixar, do you think we would ever have gotten Toy Story 4 and 5? I mean, hard to say, because if they were still making money, they probably still would have done sequels. Maybe we wouldn't have gotten the same kind of movies, but you know, Pixar was already bought by Disney before Toy Story 4 and 5. So Disney buying Pixar didn't really have any effect on why we got 4. And is 5 announced? Have they officially announced a 5? Why are we talking about Toy Story 5? Oh, I'm an idiot. Toy Story 4 has happened. Toy Story 5 is the next one. Toy Story 6 is what I meant. They haven't announced a Toy Story 6, but yes, they announced Toy Story 5. Yeah, so I don't think Disney buying Pixar had any effect on that. Jay Pylon says they got a good fan edit version of Supergirl on Reddit. On Reddit. I don't think I'm gonna watch that. Amount 7544 says I'm 20. Oh well, I'm 25, so we're not too far in age. The Laser says, what new toys could be in Toy Story 5? Who is ruling the army of Buzz Lightyears? I think a Jester would be a cool villain. Yeah, that whole army of Buzz Lightyear angle, I don't get it. I don't really get the where they're going with that. An army of Buzzes being the villain kind of feels like, didn't we do that in Toy Story? Well, we had one Buzz in Toy Story 2, but I don't know. Toy Story 5, man, I have my hesitations. I really do. Jay Pylon says, how much is ticket prices there, Zach? Generally, so if I remember correctly, to go to the D box, which is the moving seats, that's like $36.99 or something like that. Actually, you know what? Let me just jump on the app here real quick, and I'll let you guys know the Canadian prices. Ooh, what fun! Let's go to the Wild Robot. So D box for the Wild Robot for one ticket. Yeah, okay, that's like oh, I got the benefits on, so it's not gonna show me. So with my benefits, it's like, so like, because I'm a member of a club, it's $21 for the D box. So that's probably like $30 without the membership. For the big theater, the AVX, which is kind of like IMAX, but it's not IMAX, but people here believe it's IMAX, but if you do the research, it's not IMAX. It's $24.50 a ticket. And for the regular showing, it's $14.50. Oh no, sorry, that's seniors. It's $17 for a regular standard showing, but I get $10 because I have the Cineplex membership card. So yeah, that's the prices here. That's the prices. Jay Pylon says, man, that's a really good idea, Laser. Yeah, I like that idea too. Mario Master Eat Food on Tuesday nights. What's going on, Mario Master Eat Food on Tuesday nights? I love the name. I haven't seen you in here before either. We've got a lot of new people in the chat, and I appreciate all you guys joining us. Welcome. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. Said, hi, just sub. Please excuse my name. No, I love your name. I won't excuse that. I love your name. Mario Master Eat Food on Tuesday nights. Brilliant. And thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to the channel. It's an honor and privilege to have you here. The Laser says, thank you. I've been thinking about that for a while now. Oh, yeah, the plot for your Toy Story? Sounds good. Miles Gutierrez. I'm sorry if I got that wrong, Miles, but welcome. Thank you so much. I don't believe I've seen you in here, at least not for a while, if so. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for, yeah, it's an honor and privilege to have you here. Hey Zach, have you checked out Skinamarink? I watched Film Theory's video on it, and it made me watch the movie again with Matt Pack's theory about the movie. Great stream, by the way. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. No, I have not seen Skinamarink. I heard terrible things about it. It did not sound like it was up my alley at all. Some people I know did like it, but it just didn't sound like a movie for me, so I never did check it out. I love Film Theory, by the way, and Matt Pack is fantastic. So I don't know. Maybe it's something I'll have to check out. Maybe I put it on the Halloween movie reaction list. Maybe we do that. Mario Master Eat Food on Tuesday night says he's 25 tomorrow. Well, happy birthday, buddy. Halfway through your 20s. That's exciting. I'm halfway through my 20s. I'll be 26 in October though, so I'm inching towards that 30 mark. So there you go with that. But yeah, 25, that's awesome. That's very exciting. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy 25. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying it. So yeah, happy birthday. That's very exciting. Chillmonger says, now we need the channel to make enough to cover 2 tickets. Yes, cover 2 tickets. Honestly, it probably would. It would probably be close at least. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah. Like I said, that's I just think of that and go, wow, like that's crazy. Like my hobby is actively paying for my hobby, if that makes sense. Like going to the movies is my hobby that I bring to YouTube, which is my hobby, and that is paying for me to go to the movies. Like I can't thank you guys enough for that. Like that is crazy to me that's happening right now. It's very, very cool. Thank you guys so much. The Laser says, I'm 16 approaching 17. That's a fun year. 17 was a fun year for me. And those are good years. Enjoy these years. Enjoy them, Laser. Don't grow up too fast. Kristana. Well, welcome, Kristana. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if I've seen you in here either, so welcome. It's an honor and privilege to have you here. Abigail's my favorite movie this year, and Dune 2. I love Abigail. It's in my top 5. It's in my top 5 favorite movies this year. I thought that it was just such a fun film, and I'm with you on that. Dune Part 2 as well is definitely, it's either my favorite or my second favorite. I could go back and forth on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Dune Part 2 all day, but Abigail, and how freaking great was Alicia Weir, as good as like Catherine Newton and all the and Dan Stevens and all the adult actors were. Alicia Weir in Abigail is one of like the best child performances I've seen in a number of years. She was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And the movie was funny and so great. I loved it. Rebecca Cocooncast. Well, welcome, Rebecca Cocooncast. Sorry if I got that wrong. I'm sorry. Hey Zach, we just came back from the Superman doc. Was thinking of you the whole time, and congrats on the new kid. Oh well, thank you very much. I'm assuming you're thinking it because you think I'd love it, because it looks great. The Superman doc, it looks great, and I appreciate the congratulations, and thank you so much for being here and joining us. It's an honor and privilege. The Laser says, I wonder why the villains of Toy Story 5 is an army of Buzz Lightyears. It's confusing to me, and do you think Sid did this? I am Toy Story 5 glazing tonight. I don't know where they're going with it. Like I said, I don't really know what the angle is to bring in an army of buzzes. I don't know how well it's going to work for me. It's all about story and execution, so we'll see. As far as bringing Sid back, I don't think so. I don't know. I in some ways, I could see that being like, it's a bookend, but it could also come across kind of forced. I think you just kind of leave Sid out of it. In my opinion, I think you just kind of leave Sid out of it. And at this point, there's people who suspect like maybe we do a story with the toys finding Andy again, or Andy has a kid and stuff like that, and Bonnie gives the kids her toys. I don't know. I even think leave Andy out of it. Like, Andy's kind of done. The toys have moved on from Andy. Like, I don't know. I just think you move on. The Flash, the Speedster's here. What's going on, Flash? Thanks for joining us. Hey, despite what some people said, I really enjoyed your movie. I really did. So, thank you for joining us, Flash. Rebecca Cocoon says, oh yeah, you'll love it. Bring tissues. All right, I will bring tissues. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna be playing in my theater here, but it's gonna be on Max, right? HBO Max. So I'll definitely catch it when it hits streaming, because it looks great. It does. Captain America CW. Thank you for joining us, Captain America CW. Honored to have you here. Favorite Disney movie. So honestly, my favorite Disney animated movie is Beauty and the Beast. I really like Beauty and the Beast. My overall favorite Disney movie, though, oh, that's tricky. They have a lot of good ones. I'm assuming we're keeping like Marvel and all that stuff out of it. I don't know, man. I think it's definitely got to be one of those. I think I'll just stick with Beauty and the Beast. Might be my favorite. I don't know why. I love that movie. Oh wow, Spoiler Kings is in here, sending a $10 super chat. Thank you guys so much for supporting our channel on that level. Says, welcome back, Zach, and congrats. Fatherhood is a ton of fun. I love hearing that, and I appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much, and thank you again. That's a very generous support towards the channel, guys. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to fatherhood. I really am. I'm one of those guys who, even when I was a teen, like, my dream was just to grow up, get married, and have kids. Like, I just want to have a family, and the fact that it's happening, we're having a kid. It's very exciting. It's a very exciting time. It really is. Captain America CW says favorite action movie. That's a toss up for me between First Blood, Die Hard, and Speed. You know, Speed, my wife and I showed my wife Speed for the first time in our marriage, and she fell in love with it, to the point that whenever we're looking for something to watch and we can't find something, she's like, just pop on Speed. And that has really brought Speed up the bar for me, that I think Speed actually might be my favorite action movie. I love Speed. Speed's fantastic. Don't watch the sequel, though. The Laser says, my favorite Disney movie is Toy Story 3, which is my favorite Pixar of all time and is the peak of Pixar. Yeah, I guess if you're including all of it, it would be an MCU movie. But if it's strictly Disney, I'm probably going to go with Beauty and the Beast. But Pixar, my favorite Pixar movie, it's probably one of the Toy Stories. I don't know. I should sit down and look through and do a ranking of them, because I don't know off the top of my head. Pixar has so many. It's hard to choose. Toy Story's up there. Inside Out is up there for sure. Coco, I love Coco. Too many bangers to choose from. Too many. Chillmonger says favorite Disney song is The Better Question. Man, that's even harder. Like I said, I love a lot in Tarzan. I love Son of Man from Tarzan. I love that song. I love Just Can't Wait to Be King. Like, how do you beat that? And by saying how do you beat that, it kind of jumps up as that is my favorite song. It's from Lion King. I Just Can't Wait to Be King. You know what? It probably is. It's probably I Just Can't Wait to Be King. That is probably my favorite Disney song. I also love A Whole New World, though, from Aladdin. Oh, there's so many good ones. I'm going to stick with Just Can't Wait to Be King. That's my number one. Frankie Mega World says, well done. You now are at 2.8K. Don't believe me. Check. Are you still in the movie? Are you still in the movie, dude? Let's see what you're saying here. All right, we've crossed 2,800 subscribers. I mean, some of those might be bots. We don't know, but at the moment we have 2,800 subscribers, guys. That is crazy. We crossed 2,800 subscribers tonight. Congratulations to all of you. It's all you guys are supporting the channel in crazy ways. 3K, we're approaching it. It's wild. I suspect that number will drop because if bots are in there, YouTube will come and clean them out. Even people who don't watch the channel regularly, YouTube will come and clean them out. But right now it's very exciting. 2,800. We're at 2,800, guys. Congratulations. Frankie Mega World said they paused the movie again. It's very fun. Why are they pausing the movie? That's so weird. Frankie Mega World says, hot take, I actually don't mind Speed 2. No one needs a first, but not as good as no one needs as first. Nowhere near as good as the first, but as its own movie, it's good. To each their own. I didn't think it was good. I didn't like it very much, but to each their own. That's totally fair. The Laser says, do you think we will ever get a Coco sequel since the first movie made $814 million worldwide? I mean, like I said, it's Pixar, it's Disney. If there's money to be made, never say never. I can tell you I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want a Coco sequel. I think Coco works on its own. I think Coco is great on its own. I think it's a great standalone. I love the ending. The ending makes you tear up every time. I don't think I need a sequel. And with that, guys, that is the final. Let me just double check here. That is the final comment and question of the night. You guys have had me here for over 3 hours, and I could not thank you more for that. Thank you guys so much for being here. Everyone who contributed to the chat, throwing in your comments and questions, just giving us a fun, great show tonight. Definitely made up for last week. I appreciate all the super chats. Thank you to everybody who contributed to and supported our channel on that level. Congratulations, guys. 2,800 subscribers at the end of the night. That is fantastic. We will be back next week with our regular show. We'll be covering some news topics. And yeah, keep your guys' eyes open for a poll for what movie to do for a movie reaction. And I appreciate you guys so much for being here. The show was made better because you were a part of it, my friends, and I appreciate you. You guys have a great night, and I will see you guys again next time. Same Zach time, same Zach channel.